I think that's it. There he is. You guys ready? Let's pull it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Hey! And JB's on there! 600! 600! Yes! Yay! 600 mile time. That would be just. So here we are, back with the real Supercharger. Okay, we are on the test track.
So I'd recommend putting your head on the headrest.
Okay.
There he's ready.
Nope. Yep. Oh. Oh, there it goes. Oh. Oh, that never gets old either. We have the post-putting production cars here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, oh yeah, you watch it.
Well, why is he gonna throw it?
I don't know, but we're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
He just used a sledgehammer. What?
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
I'm Eric, otherwise known as Derek, here in Shanghai at Gigafactory 3.
Ballapalooza. It's like tricks.
3, 2, 1.
Will it wipe is the big question of the day.
Will it wipe?
Generic cornflakes.
Whoa! It's raining cornflakes! Oh. This is trippy. Look, there's nothing here.
Hello again, everyone. Tonight it is, Sunday, January 16th, 2022. Happy New Year again. I'm David, this is Eric. Together we're Derek, and we're here to talk about everything that's new in the world of Tesla. We missed last week because we were busy with some other projects, but we have a lot of news to discuss, a lot of really big news this week, and a few big things last week as well.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Hopefully everyone had a good week, or two actually. Yeah, working on some other projects that were taking a lot longer than expected. Cars were in pieces in the garage, and I had to focus on putting them back together.
Yeah, that was like an all-day project. I mean, I don't remember what time you went to bed, but you started early, like in the morning, and I think I went to bed. You were still working on it, so.
Yeah. So, video coming soon on that, but definitely went through Model S Plaid versus Model S long range, the 2021 versus 2022, and kind of figured out what's changed, what's new, what's not new, what's Tesla still missing. So keep an eye out. Hopefully that'll be out this week. Anyway, so first and foremost, let's talk a little bit about Model X. For those of you that saw the title, the product roadmap predictions, we'll probably conclude the news section with that because that's going to be a lot of just like our ideas, and I'm really curious to see what you guys want. to hear and see from that. But we're gonna go ahead and just kind of jump into the news a little bit. But first and foremost, Model X is delayed.
At least ours is delayed. They've been making a few token deliveries over the past couple of months, but for the vast majority of people, even people who ordered back in 2020, they're still waiting. And we placed an order, as we mentioned in the past, back into December 2020. We've gotten a few delivery dates since then, and we were pushed to February when everybody else was several months back. We just got an update yesterday that it's now been pushed to supposedly March of 2022. So we're watching for that. Luckily, we have the Plaid and the other S, so we're not in a rush for it. But we have been waiting a year for it, so we are looking forward to that. But we're in the same boat as many of you others that have been waiting. It's a long delay, and new orders are pushed back even longer.
And so Greg, our local friend, his long range was also pushed back to March. It said February. So it's getting to be kind of a bummer, but I hate to say it, but this is almost identical to what happened with Model S. I feel like the same position, and I don't like it. But I have seen a few that people took delivery of pop up for sale. But I think I saw a long range for sale for $150,000 and it sold within like 24 hours.
I guess some people are like really eager. They've been waiting. Yeah.
I'm eager, but I'm not so eager where I'm going to pay a ridiculous amount.
Yeah, because those are like Plaid prices.
Plaid is like $126, so that's like
more than
crazy.
And speaking of Plaid, this is something that happened last week. Is they announced that they're no longer going to be releasing the 5 and 7 seaters for the Plaid Model X. They're basically calling everybody and saying, or messaging them and saying, if you want a Plaid, you have to switch to 6 seaters, but they're going to throw that in as a free upgrade. But if you already pay for 6, you're not going to discount or anything.
Exactly. And that's really making a lot of people angry.
A lot of people are disappointed because that was like a $6,500 upgrade, and now they're offering it to people for free. And a lot of other people are upset because they wanted a Plaid with 5 or 7 seats, and they were told that, no, if you want 5 or 7 seats, you're going to have to go to the non-Plaid version and wait maybe another year before that comes out. So they're really trying to push people to the Plaid 6-seater. And that'll be a nice configuration, but I can definitely understand people would want a different seating, like 5 or 7 seats.
Yeah. I mean, right now we just have the long range. If Tesla called and said, we can get you a white-on-white Plaid next week, what do you think? At the old price point. Not like the new price.
Again, we don't need it. We already have 2 cars. It would be nice to have, but I mean, I wouldn't mind waiting a couple more weeks or months because we have seen.
There you go.
Leading into another thing, we've seen what was it in Taiwan?
Yes.
They had a Model S and a Model X on display there, and they showed that they now, at least on those overseas markets, they had like a CCS2 port, and so we know that now there is room with those new taillights that there's room for a CCS port. And whether it's CCS1 in North America, CCS2 in Europe and other places, but we've also seen new headlights, those matrix headlights like they have on the 3 and Y.
Yeah, so Sawyer originally kind of talked about it a little bit. He posted some photos. You can see here, you have the new taillights. There's really not many photos going around to the Model S. I'm not going to lie. I think the photos I originally saw were almost immediately taken down. I think Tesla did not like them posting that, but it's like, if you're going to put cars on display, expect pictures to be taken because it's stupid.
They covered it up once people started taking pictures. They covered it up. It's like, well, why have a car for a show or for an unveiling and then cover it up so that nobody
can see? But here it's got very Model Y3 look taillights, but the little charge ports, as well as the matrix headlights, but the charge port, I have some photos here from Michael. He posted some. It opens up almost like a Falcon Wing door, and that's actually what he commented on. So it kind of like flips up. But here they have CCS. I'm willing to bet in the US it's still going to be the Tesla plug.
Probably,
at least
for now. Yeah.
For now, maybe in the future we'll see. But you can kind of see it's actually like it looks way more robust than the Model 3 and the Y, which is good. But it's definitely a lot more different too. So here you can actually see it opening and closing. I kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of satisfying how it just like opens like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then here you can see a good shot of the rear taillights of the Model X. And they kind of have like this white line.
I think they already had that. I think that's coming from that video there on the, is that his video that's coming from? Where I'm hearing some audio.
I am too.
I think that's on that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was hearing audio, and I was
There's
like, I don't know where
it's like
this
some
audio is
squealing
coming
noise.
from.
I don't know where it's coming from, but I think close Twitter or whatever that is. Maybe it's coming from your. I don't know. Anyhow, continue. But anyways,
Somewhere there's audio, and it's really
but speaking
annoying.
of CCS, I don't think they're going to be bringing out CCS to the United States just yet.
Yeah.
But we have seen that Tesla has actually filed to build some CCS superchargers or combination supercharger with their own proprietary plug, similar to this, but V3. But it would have this plug as Tesla has had in North America, but also it would have CCS, and that looks like they are planning on building those down in Texas, around Austin. And the reason why they're doing that is because if they put in both CCS and Tesla, they can get funding from the government to put those in. And we've seen Tesla is planning on doing that perhaps in other parts of the United States, and they're also doing a trial in Europe, in the Netherlands. So it's interesting and nice to see they are doing CCS, but we're still eager to see the CCS adapter, which has been out in South Korea for a while, and we've seen they've updated the software. So like the three, all the cars now show, if you go to your software settings and click on like more information or whatever, additional vehicle information, it will show if your car has that CCS hardware
activated, installed,
the adapter
etc.
availability, and so that might let you get 150 or maybe even 200 kilowatts. But it would be nice if eventually they might have the CCS port. But for now, it'd be nice if we could just get those adapters like they have in South Korea.
Yeah, because like you mentioned, Tesla is building superchargers with CCS.
Yeah.
So here, the first ones being equipped are in Texas. They actually already applied for 4 grants worth $376,000 to $500,000 a piece, and doing 9 to 17 stalls at 4 locations with at least 150 kilowatt charging.
And it remains to be seen, though, because we've seen a lot of problems with the trial that they're doing there in the Netherlands, is that when the superchargers were originally built, they had cables that were long enough to reach from the supercharger to a Tesla. And with all these other models of cars trying to charge there, we've discussed this in previous live streams, their charge ports are in a different, for a lot of these, their charge ports are in a different part of the car, and it doesn't reach. And so we've seen people parking in the wrong spot, or they're parking
sideways
blocking 3 stalls. And so a trial might be good, but that's why they did a trial, is to see what kind of issues they might run into. But if you have one non-Tesla car blocking 3 Teslas or 3 other cars from charging, that's not going to be a successful trial. They're going to have to come out with adapters that have longer cables, like we've seen with Electrify America and other networks. So I think that when Tesla builds their own, they're going to have to do something to have a longer cable and maybe a second cable.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But I mean, this is going to allow them to get access to a lot of funding to really help beef up the supercharger network even more. So, I mean, I'm not necessarily sad about it. I know I've seen a lot of very strong opinions on Twitter. A lot of people are just not happy with others using Tesla chargers at all. But I mean, in the grand scheme of it, I think it'll be a good thing.
I think too, that's not going to happen.
It might take a little while.
It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
And that would be one thing, is if they just opened it up and said everybody can do it. But the other cars don't have any adapter. And even if Tesla started selling an adapter that would allow these other vehicles to choose any supercharger, everybody's not going to buy it. So it's not going to be overnight. But there's not a lot of other cars, I think, we have to worry about. So we'll see. Hopefully Tesla will continue to expand the supercharger network. But moving on from there, there's been a lot of rumors about Model Y changes and stuff. And just right before this, Eric was chatting with me about someone had spotted a new Model Y at a showroom in the United States.
Yeah.
And they were thinking, this is an Austin build. No, it wasn't, because we saw the VIN and it still had the NF, which means it's a 2022 Fremont build car. If it's going to be an Austin, Texas built vehicle, it's going to be an A, and it's going to be A for Austin. And so this car, the pictures going around, people talking about it's built in Texas. It wasn't. It was a Fremont build. But it is nice to see that now these new Model Ys do have some of these new hardware features we've seen on some of the foreign builds.
Oh, definitely. Because we're actually expecting, we'll talk about it a little bit more during the roadmap prediction.
Yep.
But there have been some Model Y bodies spotted outside of Giga Texas with nothing on the bottom, which, if there's nothing on the bottom, that can really only mean it's a structural battery pack. And that actually got me thinking, right now, or if Tesla needed to, they could drop the battery without like the interior or anything. Are the seats going to be mounted to the battery? Or is it what we're seeing
That'd be a
here,
lot- it seems like
which
that'd be a lot more
is
work.
like a Model Y without anything underneath of it? Did it just not have those panels put in yet? Because like I have removed a ton of seats from Teslas, and I do not tap into the top of the battery pack to do it. So if it's a structural battery pack,
Yeah, definitely.
how does that work?
It'll be interesting to see because
I can't wait to take one
and-
apart.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to be maintainable. And,
Exactly.
You know, definitely, it is a nice thing with Model S and X where they could just drop the battery easily within a couple minutes in an automated way. Or if they do it in a service center, it takes a little bit longer if they're doing it manually. But if they're going to move to a structural pack, that'll be different. But that's one of the rumors I guess we've seen. But there's also people are talking again about ventilated seats coming to the 3NY. I don't know, because we've seen this in the past. Like people have been talking and asking for it. It shows up in the parts catalog, but then it never comes to fruition. So we don't know. I'm not 100% convinced that unless somebody else says, oh no, we're already seeing them. I'm saying that that's probably not going to happen anytime soon because that's one of those, I think, features they're reserving for the S and X.
Yeah, although it did actually pop up in the Model Y and 3 user manual. It showed this photo of hot and cool seats.
But we've seen things.
Exactly. We've seen so many. How do I say this nicely?
Copy and paste errors.
Copy and paste errors. Great.
We've seen a lot of things
yeah.
like between the S and the X 2021 when they came out. There's all kinds of things listed in the Model X that don't exist.
That they don't apply.
But it says every seat has wireless charging and this and that's totally not the case with the cars that have been delivered so far. So obviously somebody just copied the text straight from the Model S manual, put it in that.
I think when it happened is they were kind of looking towards the Model S refresh manual kind of for like the V11, and we're trying to copy some of that over for 3 and Y because a lot of it is very same to the current V11 that is rolling out. And I think just whoever was doing that just wasn't fully aware of that doesn't belong. But kind of the same thing with the structural battery pack. I should have it somewhere here. Okay, I don't have it here. But anyway, oh yeah, I have a photo. Also in the Model Y manual, it said this. The following illustration is provided to improve conceptual understanding. If your Model Y is equipped with a structural battery pack...
So definitely I see this happening.
Yeah, the exact location of the lift points will differ slightly. Check the vehicle itself.
Because we know this does not exist on the S or X or anything yet. So this is something new that was specifically written.
Exactly.
It may have slipped out a little bit early,
yeah,
but it's new text.
But I think the cooled seats, I think that is a copy-paste issue.
Yeah.
I think a couple other things might be copy-paste issues too, because it wouldn't surprise me. We've seen it several times in the past.
Yeah, and we could be wrong. Maybe they'll come
Hopefully
out eventually.
we're wrong.
But I mean, we've heard so many times about air suspension and people talking about air suspension.
Yeah.
And Elon has said no, they're not getting air suspension on the 3 and the Y. But people saw a part in the parts catalog. But we've seen so many things in the parts catalog, like even for the Plaid with the active spoiler and all kinds of other things that never came out. So
Video on that coming soon.
yeah. So it's like don't get your hopes up just yet. If it shows up, then you can get excited. But don't get.
I literally have a friend waiting to order a Model Y until it gets air suspension and cooled seats. And I told him, I hope you don't need a vehicle anytime soon. Because I just don't see it happening. And we've already seen, like, they've removed a lot from Model 3 and Y, such as the lumbar support. They've removed a lot of, like...
Side, yeah.
Yeah, at least on the one side. But, like, they've removed so much. I don't see that coming back anytime right
it's
away.
like, why cheapen it by removing lumbar, which can't really cost that much, and then add ventilated seats, which would cost a lot more?
Yeah.
I don't see it happening, but we could be wrong.
I would love to be proven wrong, Tesla, if you are watching.
Yeah. But I don't know. But anyways, you mentioned V11.
Yes.
And V11's been out for a couple weeks, kind of came out at the end of the year, the holiday update, a lot of new features. It was pretty much the same, what you were used to in the Plaid, but it brought that very similar interface to all the other vehicles. And a lot of people liked it. Even more people, I think, didn't like it. There were a lot of major changes, and they kind of, I didn't really notice it so much. I was reading all the comments, and I didn't really notice myself until I went and tried driving someplace the other day, and I couldn't figure out how to change the music. It was just not there. And I can see they've made it so you can customize that bottom bar with a lot of different icons. But if I didn't get the instructions or whatever, and it's like, wow, they really move things around. But I think one of the biggest complaints is they got rid of like the seat heater icons and the ability to like turn the defrosters on with one touch. Now you got to go into the HVAC controls to see that. And I know a lot of people like to just be able to see it and whether it's on. And while they do have like the auto, seat heaters on newer cars, they got rid of the buttons, and those auto seat heaters don't work on older cars. So it's like, I don't think they thought that through all the way.
Definitely
so
not.
I know there have been a lot of complaints about that. Some people have been tweeting Elon. He said some fixes are coming. So hopefully we'll see some improvements on that. But definitely nice to see that V11 finally made it out. But hopefully they make it a little easier, especially with those defroster settings, because those are things you definitely need access to, like one touch.
Yeah, I really do kind of miss like the seat heater one touch. Now I've been using it in auto on the Refresh S lately.
But the S100D doesn't have that.
No, exactly. But I think the auto works really well if you have it. But yeah, the older S doesn't have it. So to get to it, it just takes a bunch of button presses where it's just like, just give us the button back.
I know, and Elon, somebody tweeted about Elon, or tweeted about this, and Elon said, well, human error, like all human interactions are because of error or cause error or something like that. Totally didn't make sense to me, because it's like, no, if I want to turn my seat heater on or off or on or off, it's like the car can't know what I want, right?
Not unless we're implanting stuff into our brains.
Or if like my mom's riding the car, I'm gonna say it, she might want it on hot, and then like 5 minutes later she might want it on cold, or she might want it off. The car can't figure out what my mom wants for her seat heater, and so just give us a button so I can do it myself, or my mom can handle it herself. Okay. But speaking of V11 though, we finally got V11 and we got track mode.
That is true.
On the Plaid.
Yes. Now we haven't really gone out and played with track mode because we
snow.
Actually got snow.
Yeah. Pretty good storm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But we do still have the like race slicks on those rims, so maybe we'll go out and burn some rubber a little bit, have some fun. But a lot of people have played with it, and I've already seen some videos that people have sent me of cars driving around without any tires, straight on rims, because they burned through and blew up their tires. So do be careful. This is a 1,000 horsepower vehicle. It's gonna spin those tires, and you will burn through them very, very fast. So be prepared to buy some new tires if you're gonna be playing on track mode too much.
And speaking of being prepared for purchases, one thing we should mention.
Yeah.
Elon tweeted that the price of FSD will be going up this week. What is it, tomorrow?
Tomorrow, the 17th.
So it's currently at
I don't know if it's like tomorrow night or tonight at midnight.
Or it could be a couple days late because they never do it on time. But it's supposed to be going up from $10,000 to $12,000. And as we've told you, we're not in any rush to buy it. If you really are planning on buying a car and you want to keep it for more than 4 or 5 years, some people, like my previous, before Tesla, I kept a car for 20 years. If I was planning on doing that, then I would definitely say buy it. But now that they have the subscription option, it doesn't make sense to me. And when they keep raising the price, that just makes me not want to buy it even more. No matter how much I like it, especially on road trips, you threatening to raise the price doesn't make me buy it. Raising the price just makes me not buy it.
Yeah, and it's like he said, it's great on road trips, but we do, on an average non-COVID year, maybe 2, maybe 3 road trips?
Yeah.
Say we do 3 road trips, that's 3 different months of the year. So we subscribed for 3 months of a year. So that's $600. So if they're going to charge $12,000 divided by 600 per year, you'd have to keep the car 20 years to get that value back out.
Yeah.
We have sold enough Teslas because we do like to upgrade and get the newest stuff all the time, that I can tell you FSD is not valued that great. A lot of times you won't get your money back.
You might get you might get a little bit more of selling it privately,
though.
But trading in a Tesla, they say they value it on your trade-in, but I don't really see it on the offers we've gotten from them.
No, so that is why for now we will probably just do the subscription as we feel like.
And some people are saying they might raise the price on subscriptions too. There's no way. It's already $200 a month. People don't spend that. They don't spend that kind of money, and I think pushing it. They're already pushing. And if you look at some of the competitions coming out, like GM has Super Cruise, they're coming out with Ultra Cruise, which should be very similar, full self-driving. They're not selling it for tens of thousands of dollars. Some of them, they're only charging you like $20 a month or something, I believe, or they will be charging. They're almost giving it away. And so to try to charge 10 times that much for a similar technology, it's people aren't going to buy it, I don't think. And we love using it on road trips. I wish that, I love the free version of basic autopilot that came with my new Model S I just got. I wish it had auto lanes change, because that's probably the feature that I use the most when on a road trip. Yeah. But I'm not going to pay $12,000 to have the car automatically change lanes for me.
You know what? I might consider paying $10,000, $12,000 when it's done rolling out,
Yeah, and if we
hands-free.
can send it so that it doesn't even need to be in the car.
If I can send the car to like, say like I am somewhere and you're
Mm-hmm.
somewhere and it needs, if I can send the car and do that, completely worth the money.
But it's not there yet, so
But
I'm not
until
gonna
it's there, I will probably keep that money in my pocket.
And again,
'cause-
for those of you who don't know, we've purchased 14 Teslas over the last 5.5 years, and the money we spent on full self-driving and autopilot, it's about 50% autopilot, 50% full self-driving, but we've spent like $60-something thousand over the year. If we had instead put that money in a Tesla, we would probably have, over $500,000 easily.
Well, that's I guess like the other thing that kind of like the other edge is, rather than pay that 10, 12 grand up front, take whatever you were going to put down or on the vehicle or whatever and do some smart investing, and basically the subscription nets out and you end up still making more money. So there's different ways to do it, because also in Colorado you have to pay
the
registration fees every year based on the initial purchase price, which if you have a $10,000 or $12,000 extra on there, 7% of that for the first year for the sales tax, and then the registration thereafter.
For like the next 5 years, it makes it
you
more
pay a
expensive.
ton of extra money. So it's not just 10 or 12 grand for us. It's probably closer to like what, 14 or 15.
It would really add up over the years, yeah.
So it's not a $10,000 option here. And I'm sure a lot of states are like that. If you are in a state where your registration is very cheap, I am very jealous. I will say that.
Okay. We still haven't made our little soapbox or our
I know,
little
we
podium.
need to make
we need
that.
to do that one of
We've
these
been
days.
really
But
busy,
We'll
but-
move on from that. But we've talked about we'll talk about it more in questions. But one other thing we wanted to point out is that people have spotted what looks to be maybe the first Megacharger installation outside of Tesla property. And this is I think at the Frito-Lay factory or something like that. And while it looks, on first glance, it looks like an urban supercharger, which is limited to like 72 or 75 kilowatts. Eric pointed out this is actually much taller.
Yeah,
than,
if you look, someone confirmed this fence is a 6 foot tall fence. These chargers are like 7 feet tall.
So
they are massive.
Yeah.
But yeah, they basically look like an oversized urban supercharger. No details really yet on like what it's gonna push out or anything like that.
But these
I think
Megachargers though would be used for the Tesla Semi.
Yes.
Which we have been talking in the past that Pepsi let it slip that they were expecting delivery soon, even though Elon said it's over a year away. We're thinking that the Semi, at least a few of them, might be getting initial deliveries. And Pepsi, Frito-Lay, they are probably going to be among the first if we're already seeing that they're getting Megacharger installs.
I'm sure they'll get one of the first units as like a test unit kind of thing and just slowly go from there, provide feedback. Tesla will make some changes and then kind of, I have a feeling Frito-Lay is going to be kind of like their beta.
Yeah.
But I mean, awesome for them. I know a lot of people are super excited to see them rolling around, as am I, because if we start seeing those rolling around, it definitely means we are a lot closer to seeing the Roadster.
Oh, and the Roadster, yes.
Because the batteries should be the same.
Speaking of which,
yes,
we know that the Q4 2021 earnings call is coming up. We saw some of the numbers already, and they did amazing with the number of deliveries and all this stuff. But the actual earnings call is coming up on the 26th of January. And even though Elon said he wasn't going to be attending these meetings anymore, he will be coming back for this one. He said, and he's going to kind of give a product roadmap with kind of like a guideline to what's coming up. In the coming years, because we know the original master plan when they would build the Roadster to fund the development of the Model S, and then they kind of spun off the X, and then they came out with the 3, and they just kept expanding from there. But it sounds like maybe we're going to get a new roadmap or a new master plan of what's coming in the next few years.
Yeah.
And so we were just going to talk. What are some of our guesstimates or whatever what they might be talking about in that meeting?
Yeah, so we'll kind of go ahead and go through it, and then we'll kind of close out the news segment. And then I want to hear from you guys what you think and what you want to see on the roadmap prediction. First and foremost, I will say Giga Texas. I think that's going to be a big bulk of what we're about to hear. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we will be hearing about the 4680 packs, the structural packs, the batteries, how that's going, where we're kind of at. Originally, they had said Cato Road. They're kind of like pre-production.
Like the Roadrunner facility?
Yeah, like the Roadrunner facility where they're setting up test lines is going to be able to help provide some batteries. Maybe they've been stockpiling them until they get fully up and running. When you think about a car factory, though, I don't really think Cato Road, that facility, could provide so much to keep Gigafactory Texas going.
Not them. It would work for the Roadster.
Exactly. It would work for the Roadster and the Semi.
Yeah.
But we also need to hear like some Cybertruck news. Is Cybertruck gonna start with the structural battery pack, or are they gonna maybe do 2170s? Or how is Cybertruck gonna launch? It's been pretty bleak lately with the Cybertruck news, so I'm really expecting.
We haven't heard any news. Basically,
No.
it's like not bad news, just no news. And we've seen a lot of competition, like with the Silverado was just
The
announced.
Ford,
It looked pretty
Rivian,
nice. Yes,
like,
all kinds of
so many.
trucks coming out. And I think maybe now Elon's going to come back, and maybe we will finally get some news, because we've seen how Ford, got scared when they saw the Cybertruck and they saw the demand for it.
Oh, totally.
And so they rushed up and said, okay, we're going to do this, and it's going to have all this charging. So I think now we're going to see some new features that weren't previously announced showing up on the Cybertruck, because we knew that the Cybertruck would have charging outlets,
Yeah.
where you would be able to plug stuff in, but we never had specifics. I hope now we'll finally get specifics on that. Maybe not at this call, but I'm hoping we'll get some Cybertruck news soon, and then we'll see how this compares to the Silverado or the Ford F-150.
The thing is, though, is Cybertruck was unveiled, 3 years ago?
Yeah, it's
And it's been really quiet.
well-
I will say 2020, 2021, both years
it
were
was like
kind of a hot mess.
It was a little over 2 years, because it was
Okay.
in 2019, right?
Okay.
So
But, like, I can kind of understand a little bit of the delay. A lot of things are delayed. But at the same point, like, the product roadmap should be really good. But on the Cybertruck news, supposedly, Steel Dynamics built a factory not too far from Tesla's Giga factory in Texas. And there's been a lot of talk about them being the steel supplier for Cybertruck's exoskeleton. Well, they are expected to start initial operations at that factory facility next month. However, soon after Sawyer made that tweet, he did say, according to Dana Hull, which works at Bloomberg and covers all kinds of Elon companies, she did say they are not the supplier for the Cybertruck, despite a lot of conjecture, because they have a plant in Texas. Now, I don't so Steel Dynamics hasn't come out and confirmed their supplier, but I don't really know if they've denied it. At this point, I don't think they could officially announce it until Tesla is ready for that. I think it's awfully suspicious that they're billing and putting hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe even billions, into a factory that just happens to be so close to Giga Texas. I definitely think there's something to this. Maybe they won't supply true steel to Tesla, but maybe they'll supply some of the raw material. I'm not entirely sure, but I definitely think something's going on there. So while Dana doesn't believe they are, I'm kind of more on board with all fingers point to one direction.
do you want to jump on the couple of the super chats?
Oh,
quick?
okay, yeah. We got a few super chats.
Couple that came in.
And then we'll get back to that. So, John, thank you for the $10. Really appreciate that. Said, cold weather update helps a lot. Got it last week. FSD on city streets does recognize ice, drive too fast, and slide into the curb.
Uh-oh.
How are the cameras going to recognize ice?
Yeah.
Great question.
Good question. Yeah. Because
I would hope they could like sense they're on ice based off wheel slippage, right?
Yeah. Hopefully. You'd think, because they can definitely, because you were driving to work the other day, remember?
Yeah.
And you, but I mean, you got a message about the.
That was because I got a message on the car that I was driving to work the other day because I reset the tire sizes, but it didn't truly reset it. So it was freaking out because
it noticed that something was weird. So I
noticed something was weird, but then I did a double scroll where reset, everything was fine.
But I think that the software would be able to figure out too, if there's ice and the wheels are slipping, that it's gonna affect FSD or autopilot accordingly. Yeah,
because every time the car thought I was slipping, which I truly wasn't because it was dry roads, it would kick me out of autopilot and FSD beta altogether, and so I had to like manually take over, which I had to drive a car. So that was tough. But I think there might just be something missing in their code to like reset the vehicle when you change rim sizes.
But I did hear though he mentioned the cold weather improvements, and I heard that a lot of people, especially up in Canada, when their heat pump was kind of like freezing it up or something,
no.
and they had like no heat again.
I missed that
just didn't
somehow.
work. And look, that's why they pushed out. We got like several updates. Like my car got like 3 updates in the last like week and a half or something.
Okay.
So they kept pushing out these little minor fixes, but I think one of them was because of the heat
So is
pump
it for
issue.
Model 3, Y, and S? And
I think
X
for
with the heat
all
pump?
for all of them. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
All with
Okay.
heat pumps. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, yeah, glad to hear they got that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how FSD does in like the snow and the ice, because they don't really have lane markings. So
Yeah,
it's gonna.
but I
kinda,
mean, we've seen how it knows the whole drivable, the flatness. But I guess if it's
if it's
ton of
all
snow,
yeah.
I don't know, it's gonna be like, nope, you can't turn it on.
We'll play around with it a little bit. But thank you for the 10, John. And then Pierre came in with the $5 super chat.
Pierre,
Appreciate
hello.
that. Said cold weather improvements pop up notification on my Model S is getting annoying.
Oh yeah,
Also
that's another thing
located
every
in order
time.
carbon fiber seat backs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand that. That has come up. It only came up once on the Plaid, and I dismissed it. Never saw it again. It's come up on the long range like 4 or
That's
5
what's
times.
weird is I've heard some people are saying it
I don't
comes up
understand it.
every time, and
Yeah.
it's like I don't know why.
I don't understand the logic, but it is. And also, you said you've got carbon fiber seat backs. Please message that to me because I have not found any yet.
Yeah, because we
I've been
had
working with someone who's been trying to develop them, but I didn't know anyone had any ready to order.
because
That's pretty cool.
because the new S is slightly different than the older S100D that we
Yeah.
have, because they've changed the headrest is no longer adjustable and stuff like that, and the backing on the seats doesn't go up as high. So yeah, that's why we can't just move or use the same seat backs that we've had in the past. So it'd be nice to see what the new ones look like.
Definitely. And then MK with the $1 super chat. Really, I do appreciate that. No comment. But if you have something to say, just throw it in chat.
I think
there.
we had a couple more things though to talk about on predictions.
Yeah, so predictions. So we covered Giga Texas with the Model Y, the 4680s, the Cybertruck,
And also,
Steel.
though, we should be talking about probably having deliveries from that Austin factory sometime this quarter, I would guess.
I would say at the very least, more confetti. I would say very least, I would expect to see some Model Ys rolling out Q2.
Yeah, kind of, but
Kind of at the latest.
Like maybe they're starting to build them now and then start delivering them here in the next couple of months.
Exactly.
And that brings up the question, though, will they have the 4680 cells? Because we were saying originally Elon said, okay, Berlin's going to have the the Y first in Europe, and it's going to be 4680. They're going to have the 4680s first. But now it looks like Austin is building first, and it's like, would it make sense for them to build a Model Y with the 2170s and then switch over 4680s, or are they just going to start from the get-go with 4680s? Hopefully we'll find out in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing this product roadmap will really help clear up is I think timelines have changed for each factory a lot. Just how everything has progressed. I mean, if you look at Giga Texas versus Giga Berlin, it seems like the one in Germany has slowed down a little bit. It doesn't seem as far along as I thought it would be. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
They're still
but
pretty close. I mean, they're still close, but
Yeah.
they're not like building stuff yet. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Pierre, thank you for the $2. He said I sent you the link on Twitter a week ago.
Oh.
I really haven't been on Twitter that much this past week or two because we've been super swamped, but I will definitely get to it after this. I do appreciate it. But yeah, so I guess Giga Berlin, that takes us to our next thing, is when do you think we'll see the first Y roll out of there?
I don't know, because they do, like I just said, they're a little bit behind, so I would guess maybe second quarter.
Okay.
But I'm still thinking we're going to hear something here from Austin here imminent, something's happening within weeks or
I definitely think we're going to see something out of Austin before then.
yeah. And then
yeah.
Berlin maybe later, but maybe second quarter. So
Yeah, which I mean, I'm not necessarily opposed to, but the great thing is we're almost to having 4 Tesla factories online, which will be absolutely nuts.
And
so
it's amazing to see, like we were talking about last week when they give us the numbers.
Yeah.
They've made like 900,000 cars or something last year. That's more than several other years worth of production combined. I mean, it's just amazing how much they've ramped up over the years, just since we've been following Tesla. They've gone from, a few thousand or
They've gone from a little
100,000
baby
up
to
900,000. And this is a time when there's all kinds of chip shortages and other hardware that's, delayed. They're able to be agile and change things around and update so they use different hardware and able to get the cars delivered. With that said, the X is still delayed, but they were still able to have those record deliveries last year.
Yeah. MK, I'll get to your question in just 1 second. I have 2 more for the roadmap prediction. One, Roadster. I think we're definitely going to hear something about that because that has been a very long time. Yes.
Yeah, it's
very
been like over
please.
4 years, over 4 years on that, right? It's
Yeah.
like 2017.
Yeah, and I mean, with the way the Roadster was originally announced and where we have Plaid, I would say performance between the two is very, very close. They need to do something to Roadster to bring it up a notch.
Yeah.
And there's one easy thing that can do that.
What? The thrusters? What?
Cold air thrusters.
The thrusters, yeah.
So I definitely think...
Or flying, if they could just fly.
I mean, you know what? I'll
That's
take a
not as
flying
easy.
Roadster
That's
too.
not as easy, but yeah.
I mean, if they can make it fly for $250K, I think a lot of people would buy that.
Wow.
But I definitely think we need to hear something on Roadster. It's been too long with no information. We know they have the motors that can take a car crazy fast. Exhibit A, Plaid. So I really think there's something extra that obviously we've been waiting for the batteries. They need that for like the 500-mile range. But it's been a very, very long time. I know it is not a high volume vehicle. That being said, I think Tesla still owes it to people that have reservations and put potentially $250,000 down
Or
4 years ago.
yeah.
They kind of owe it to start producing those because if you would have put $250K into Tesla stock 4 years ago, you would have several $1 million. Mind you, if you can put $250K down on
probably
a
already do have
car
several $1 million,
immediately,
yeah.
exactly, you probably are already doing very well. But still, like, I feel like they owe it to people that have given them that much money for so long an update.
Hopefully we'll hear something.
And then last, but certainly not least, we kind of already talked about it a little bit, is the Tesla Semi. I definitely think we'll hear something about that. Not so much from, like, something that you and I will drive, but from, like, the commercial aspect. I know a lot of investors are very, very interested in the commercial domain because that's huge. And in trucking is never going to go away. You always have to move stuff from point A to point B. So that could be a huge thing. End scene. I think we did it.
Okay, so that's it for the news. I think we're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a lot to go over because
We did.
it has been a couple weeks. But and I'm sure we missed some things. So let us know in the chat if we did. But we're gonna open it up to questions and answers, and if you just want to vent about V11
Or your Model X being delayed.
yeah, just go ahead and put it in chat, and we will be here to talk with you for the next hour and a half.
Yeah, so I'm definitely curious to what people think about the roadmap. What are you expecting? What do you want to hear? What, etc. Real quick though, from MK, his message was above the super chat. He said, "I should be getting." I think it's a he. If I'm wrong, sorry. MK said, "I should be getting my VIN for Model S long range any day here. Congrats. But have been debating if I should get a Model S Plaid. Should I take delivery and resell it? My purchase price is $82,000.
That's
Purchase
a good
price.
Good price.
Amazing.
We locked in at the lower price. So my car that we just took delivery of a couple weeks back, we got it close to that. I mean, we had a few extra like wheel upgrades and stuff like that, but it's a nice to be able to do that. With that being said, Tesla, we've heard
They've been
from
cracking down a little.
We've heard a few people in chat, and I've seen it online, where if you get a car and immediately resell it, Tesla will then perhaps consider you to be a reseller, and they might block you from buying cars in the future. And while we have gone through many cars, Teslas over the last few years, we always buy them and we drive them, and we don't buy them with the intention of immediately reselling them.
Yeah, I think the people that were getting kind of caught up in that is they were literally buying it like the next week, selling it with like no miles added, no nothing.
Or buying multiple same models.
Exactly.
And it's just like, well, why do you need like 8 Model 3s or something like that? It's like, I don't...
If you do it once, I don't know if that would be an issue, but just be careful. But to be honest, I'm going to break it down a little bit here. The Model S long range is ridiculously fast still.
It's like the performance model of before the Plaid came out.
Exactly. It feels like a Model S ludicrous, and I think it's close to the same times. Maybe it's a little bit longer. It's in like the low 3 seconds, I believe. Is it 3.5? Let me look this up real quick.
If you haven't had a Tesla before, it will be plenty fast for you. If you have had a performance in the past and you want something even quicker, even faster, then maybe you do want the Plaid. But it's a big price increase to go all the way up to a Plaid, and about the only thing you're getting is that extra motor, a little quicker acceleration, and maybe some piping on the seats, and that's about it.
Yeah. So Model S right here does 3.1 0 to 60 time. Now I have been driving the long range lately. I have not been driving the Plaid because the Plaid has.
Wait, you're driving my car?
Secrets out. Because the Plaid has summer tires on it, and I don't want to drive that when it's been all snowy and everything like that. Because actually, you got the all-season tires off of the Plaid. But anyway, I have been driving that, and I'm not gonna lie. I've encountered a few dry sections, I've punched it a little. I want to see what it's made out of, and it does very, very well. I am very impressed with it. That being said, Plaid is going to cost another, what is that? Almost $50,000 over what you paid for the long range.
And, yeah.
I would not. If you locked in a long range for that price, I would keep that and love it. I mean, I guess at the very least, take delivery and punch it a few times, and I think you will be more than satisfied.
I think most people would be. It would be fine.
Yes,
more than enough.
I don't think most people really need Plaid. I love it. Don't get me wrong. But that's a lot of extra money you're paying just for really some speed.
And bragging rights. But if you don't have a track or anything, you can't take it to the track.
Yeah.
You can't use that current 175 mile per hour top speed. You really can't use that legally in most places. So.
But you can use 0 to 60. But cops still might get you for, what is it?
I don't know, excessive acceleration. Something like that, something like that, yeah.
I don't know. I'm always killing the vibes. But yeah, I would definitely think I would say 95% of people would be more than happy with just a long range speed.
And I saw somebody just asked, when I glanced through, somebody asked if my one is at 2021 or 2022. Well, we did place the order right at the end of 2020 or beginning of 2021. We did get a VIN from Tesla finally in November, and we'd waited, 11 months, and we'd finally, it's like, you know what? We've waited this long. I'm not going to take delivery of a 2021. So we said, give that to somebody else. And we got a 2022 like 3 weeks later. So my car is a 2022. It's probably exactly the same as the 2021s that we're delivering. Yeah. I figured though, if I'm waiting almost a year, I want a 2022.
And it'll make the video even more compelling when we compare 2021 to 2022.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, so that's coming. Yeah. But by the way, I think you missed Amy's.
Yeah. Oh, so back to here. Sorry, I was slacking. Amy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. You can just text me. But you said, you know what I want? Puppy cam. Everybody loves the puppy cam. They're exhausted because I slept all day.
Yeah. And Grandma came over though for a little bit, so they got a little bit of excitement there. So
can you say hi to the people up here? Up here.
He was using Leggett as a pillow earlier, but yeah, they're just worn out. So
I need like a squeaky toy.
If they move later, yeah, maybe if I'll get a squeaky toy, so if they ever do something cute, I can squeak it, and you'll notice which direction.
Actually, I can just give you like foot pedals, and if they ever do something cute, you can just tap it, and it'll change cameras.
That'll work.
And then
but
let's
thanks,
see.
Amy.
Yep, thank you. We'll do some more dog cams, I promise. MK for the $2 super chat said thank you. No problem, MK. I really think the long range would be great. Especially with that extra range that you get over the Plaid because you don't have 3 motors, you only have 2. Huge weight savings there. You do get a little bit extra mileage out of it.
And we're calling it long range, but Tesla, and ours still says long range, right?
Yes.
But Tesla did change the website, so it's no longer long range. So who knows? Maybe 2022 will bring a longer range.
Oh, what if they have long range, longer range, longest range?
Maybe. You never know. For 2022. But
so what they could do is they could do long range Plaid with the new batteries, and that could be like the Plaid Plus.
And then the long range Plaid Plus and all this. Yeah.
Anywho, and then Greg came in with the $10. Awesome, Greg. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
I need to send you a text later, Greg.
Oh, okay.
That's Greg.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't see his little picture there on the. My eyes aren't as good as they used to be. So.
Anyway,
I thought he was supposed to come over.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I texted him back because I was playing with the jackhammer.
We were busy again today. We gotta let it spill. Okay. Well, good news is we finished.
Wait. What are you gonna spill?
We finished the bathroom renovation.
Okay.
Yeah, that we were working on
the main floor.
But the bad news is we started a new bathroom renovation. So
Let me see if I have a photo here.
But basically, this is the last bathroom renovation, hopefully for many years to come. But
so this is what we did today.
there was some damage that we are. Well, it wasn't obvious. That's not very focused. But basically, we have taken it down to in like 2 days. We've removed all the drywall, all the tile on the floor, on the walls, the vanity, the mirror, the toilet. It is gutted in like 2 days. It's the fastest demolition we've done. We're getting good at this, I guess.
But now I have blisters on my hand.
Yeah, and now
so that sucks.
Yeah, and then we went to order like some stuff and found out. Well, we have most of the supplies that we ordered months and months ago. We found out the most important one is like out of stock and no ETA. So we're like, oh, that might delay our project a little bit.
Yeah.
Or we're gonna have to make some changes.
Hopefully it comes in. Oh, more confetti. Hopefully it comes in like the next week or two. What's up?
If only Tesla would make bathtubs and they could make a different one for us.
We could totally use a Tesla bathtub.
Tesla tub, yeah.
Tesla tub.
Oh, I
it could be Cybertruck
we
looking.
should wrap it. We should put like a.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I have some ideas here.
Okay, here we go. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into some questions.
Wait, Greg, just you follow up
on
on
my
that.
way to take a shower in the new bathroom. Hey, come on over. Thing looks great.
I know he saw it before it was finished, but yeah, it is finally.
Let me see if I have a picture of the one we just completed, because it does look really, really good.
And then we can get to the Tesla related.
Sorry,
stuff.
this is like a sneak peek into the life of us. I have a lot of random photos on here. The new bathroom looks really good. So this is the shower in the new bathroom. Came out really good.
So and it's got a.
It used to be a bathtub, but it has a linear drain. So
you can't really.
like
It's a long drain. There's no
along the front,
and you can't really even see it. And it's and there's no. It's curbless, so you can just walk.
It's
right
got
in.
a heated mirror, fog free.
Defogger. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, we kind of went really well, but yeah, super happy with it. Come on by, Greg. Could be kind of weird, but come on by. Use our shower. Okay. Questions and answers. Let's see. Where are we?
Yeah.
D said, did you purchase the Model S at $94K, or did you purchase it with the $100 gamble for 79 minus 72?
Yeah, it was the cheaper rate. It was basically, what was it, the 69, and then we added a few extras, and then they had the $10,000 price increase, but then we got a $2,000 discount. So it was right around 80 or something. But then we had the wheel,
It was like 85, I think.
But that included the 21-inch wheels and the
white
interior. It seems like there was one other thing on there, but basically it was like low 80s, low 80s, and it was a good deal because since then they've raised the price like $18,000. So while we were disappointed we did have the $8,000 price increase, we're glad we didn't have $20,000 price increase.
100%. Let's see. Kevin's in chat. Colorado Model Y. Thank you for joining and hanging out.
Hello, Kevin.
Hopefully the Model Y is treating you amazing. Said 4 factories this year, plus some semis coming out of Reno. Such an exciting year for Tesla. Agreed. I think this year could be so big for the Tesla stock. Not investment advice, need to clarify, but I think this is going to be a huge year.
And
Kevin though did also do the math, so thank you for that. He said looked it up. $250,000 invested into Tesla on this date back in 2019 would be worth $3.8 million today.
But that's just 2019. Did you mean 2017 or 2019?
He said a date in 2019.
Because that would have been when they did the Cybertruck. 2017 would have been the Roadster.
Oh my God, 2017? So maybe double
either
that?
Either you wrote it wrong or it's even more you would have been. But yeah, definitely would have been worth a lot.
So, I mean, but the thing is, if you can put $250K down, cash, take it. Yeah. You're obviously doing pretty well. Yeah.
But speaking of the stock price, it shot up, a week and a half ago?
Yeah.
Or maybe 2 weeks ago now. Amazing. Phew, wow, I was on cloud 9, but then it went back. You lost all those gains.
I mean, we've gone back up a little bit, though.
Yeah, it's still doing pretty well, but it was just nice to see it go so high so quickly, but then it just kind of lost those gains. But, I'm sure a lot of people, I'm in it for the long run. So,
oh, yeah. I mean, we've still done amazing, don't get us wrong. But I guess right now, after hours, we are at 1,049.77.
Yeah.
So still very high, and when you consider this like after the split and everything like that, like we're doing very well. We're at like $5,000 a share.
Hopefully there's
Wow.
going to be another split in 2022 because when it continues to go up, they've got to do a split, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to necessarily see a split, though, until it gets to like 1800, 2000. But depending on how all these factories do, it could be much sooner than later. Let's see. Gabriel said my Model X now says March, previously February.
So I think
Cry.
the new, March is the new February.
March is the new February.
Everybody is moving on.
Only the cool kids have March delivery. So I would like to welcome you to the Cool Kid Club. But yeah, unfortunately, it seems like most people moved to March. The only thing that is like keeping me positive, I like to think about the positives, helps so you don't dwell on things, is there's a higher chance that we will get some kind of new tech, whether it be the new tail lights, the new Matrix headlights. Maybe we'll get a 6-seater with folding middle seats.
Yeah,
God forbid we see that.
Crossing my fingers, that would be so nice because other cars have that, and we've been waiting for that for almost 6 years now. And if it doesn't come, we'll be a little disappointed. But there's other stuff, like even the website. I still think it says that every passenger in the Model X has wireless charging, and that's not the case. So maybe in the next couple of weeks, that will happen.
I think that's another copy-paste issue from Model S.
Another copy-paste error.
But like, that's the one outlook I see, is the longer it takes for them to get us a car, the greater chance of us getting something new. Something different. So it sucks. Trust me. We ordered this car 13 months ago, and if we don't get it till March, it will be close to 15 months of waiting. So I'm right there with you. We are in this together.
But we're still waiting for it. We're not going to cancel our...
No, we still need an X so that we can...
We just need the additional
the additional
capacity.
room.
Yeah.
I agree. Great way to put it. Let's see. Bruce said, I'm curious if the passenger side dashboard has a small screen that's not turned on yet. I can confirm this. Put it down on paper. No. I've taken apart 2 Tesla refreshes, a 2021, 2022. There's no screen behind it.
There's like plugs for like the LED lighting.
There's supposed to be
there's
some
no LED lighting.
Ambient lighting in the vehicle. In the vehicle, that's not there. But there's nothing for a screen. That being said, though, that piece right there, just like the instrument cluster, is behind glass. There's like a black piece there. And so even if it was a screen, there's no way to interact with it because it's sat back behind the glass. Like, there's the air gap there. So it
could have been one of those things that was
a touchscreen if they
and
did.
We've seen a lot of stuff. When the 2021 Plus S came out, we went through the manual, found all kinds of things, like you said, like active spoiler or this or that. And it could be just a remnant that they had planned for this, and then they're like, okay, it was, hit the cutting room floor, and it didn't come out.
Well, the issue, I think, that really gets people going on that being a second screen is...
The manual was recently updated or whatever?
No, someone took out a computer. I think it was EngineerX or WCP07 or one of those guys. Took out the autopilot computer, and on the motherboard, there was a spot that said passenger display.
Yeah.
There was nothing soldered to it, so clearly it wasn't being used. But that could be, maybe they're planning on using that same autopilot computer in the Roadster, which did have that display.
Yep.
Maybe they were thinking about bringing it to the S.
The fourth screen.
And then we're just like, but why?
Yeah.
Because if you can't interact with it, why? But also, it's only like an inch tall.
Yeah. I thought that somebody mentioned it in one of the manuals, though, had been updated to say it was like a passenger display. And,
maybe.
But it's just like, but again, we've taken it apart. It's not in there, at least yet. Who knows what's going to be there next month?
And neither are screen swivel motors.
Yeah, so we do have the mechanism so that it can be done, but there's no motor to actually move the mechanism to pivot that center display left or right.
A lot of things that still kind of seem like missing. Let's see. Ravi said, even my Model X delivery date initially was January, then moved to February, and now March. Yeah, unfortunate. Terry said it took a year to get V11 from when it was first announced. How long do you think it'll be to get improvements to V11? I think that'll be relatively quick.
Hopefully February, or late January.
I think that a lot of people have brought that up enough where they'll do some improvements faster.
It just does seem odd that, there was so much, some of the negativity, I think, was just because there's a lot more Model Y and Model 3 owners now they only have the one screen. And that's what they've always had, whereas people who've been around for a few years have seen the updates over the, and it's totally changed from V6 to V7 to V8 to V9. So we're a little bit more used to it, but the 3 has been on the same firmware for since 2017. And so this is the first big change for the Model 3 and Model Y. So that's why I think there's some complaint. They're just used to it. And, when their odometers disappeared and their tire pressure and things, all this stuff moved. And I think it's just that who moved my cheese things. They're just upset that stuff moved. And, but it's just but there's some things, like I said, when I got in there, it's wait, where's the music? Where's this? Where's that? And so hopefully some of those changes will be going back, for the defroster and stuff. Well, you don't need those every day in California. There's other places where you need those. And you can be in the car, especially if you have multiple people or dog or something, and your windows can go from totally clear to totally fogged up within seconds. And if you have to drive and then also try to figure out how to adjust that,
not safe.
Not safe.
Yep, I agree. Pete said, I went on a ski trip and used FSD beta. It worked really well in the snow and ice. No problem engaging it when roads were fully covered in snow. So the car with FSD beta right now is the Plaid, and the Plaid has summer tires.
Of our cars, yeah.
Of our cars. So I can't really test it in the snow and ice right now unless I get another set of tires. Maybe I should. We'll think about it. If I find a good set, I'll...
Yeah, we do have another... But yeah, they're both kind of like performance tires, right?
Yeah.
One's like performance, one's like racing, so not good for taking out.
I mean, one are straight
weather.
Slick, so that's a definite no. But yeah, we'll try to figure it out because I would love to try it out. Just need to be super careful with that. Let's see. Jay said, I inquired with an online buyer to see how much they would take my Model Y for. They asked if it was financed via Tesla, as Tesla has blocked online retailers from buying.
Interesting.
Any word on this? I have not heard that at all. I have never financed via Tesla. It's always through Chase or Wells Fargo or US Bank.
Well, yeah, but we submit it. We submit the request, and then Tesla routes it to a banker. Yeah.
But there's nothing that would block US Bank or Wells Fargo.
Exactly.
Tesla has no say. Once Tesla aligns you with a lender, US Bank, Wells Fargo, Chase, whatever, Tesla gets their money.
Yeah, and I think
the only people that care what happens to that car, money-wise, is Chase, Wells Fargo, the lender itself. Tesla has no say in the money at that point. So, yeah. Lincoln Smith said, I think the LR Model S is faster than 3.1 because it includes the rollout. Plaid at 1.9 doesn't include the rollout. Take away the rollout for the long range, and I'm guessing 2.9. You know what?
We should test one of these days. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great test.
But it's definitely, I had
it's still crazy fast.
The S100D was 4.1 or 4 point something seconds. So it's a huge increase just over that. And again, can't stress enough, the price of the car it's still not cheap, but it has come way down. We probably paid $40,000 less for the almost $40,000 less for the new long range than we did for the 2017 S100D, and it is so much better of a car. Quieter, smoother ride, quicker, longer range.
I can't think of one thing. Oh, the only thing I like the 2017 better for, the sunroof.
Yeah, that's one thing that's
Otherwise,
missing.
I don't think there's anything I prefer in the 2017 over the 2022.
Also, the 2017 has that free supercharging for life, so that will make it a nice car.
Yeah.
If it stays in our family or whatever stays on our account, it will be free supercharging. But again, you'd be missing out on a lot of new technologies. And we've already seen that with the updates for V11. There's a lot of things that came out with the blind spot cameras and stuff that they say, oh, that won't be available on older cars. It has the same hardware. It's totally possible. They're just not putting that development time into making it retroactive in older cars. So it's unfortunate. But yeah, the new car, way cheaper and way better than what they had just a few years ago.
Yeah,
again, still not cheap, but way cheaper than what it used to be.
That 2017 Model S 100D, I think I originally bought it at $117,500.
Yeah. And so we've paid over $35,000 less.
Yeah.
For a much better vehicle. Yeah.
Way better. So the technology, Tesla, has come a long way. Real quick, Dan came in with the $20. Really appreciate it, Dan.
Man. Yeah, Dan.
Said, hi guys, it's hard to be part of the Cool Kids March Club.
Oh no.
I hope this is the last delivery
did he get March as well?
Yeah.
I haven't heard
he
yet.
sent me a message.
Okay. Sorry, Dan, but yeah, we're in the same boat. So.
Yeah, he said, thanks for keeping me positive. Thankful for all you do. Thanks for the news. Yup. Thanks so much, Dan. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, maybe we'll see you next weekend.
Something we could talk about too that I don't know if it's officially confirmed, but basically, you know, the Tesla Superior.
I don't think it's officially confirmed.
So we'll just talk about the Tesla Superior location. Back on, you know, December 30th, there were some wildfires up in Superior and Louisville, Colorado. Over 1,000 houses destroyed, over 100-something businesses. Tesla was damaged. Originally, we thought it was totally destroyed, but then when we saw the pictures afterwards, most of the building was still there. Looks like some of the facade burned, but also it sounds like the sprinklers went off and stuff like that. So thinking it's pretty major damage. Maybe it wasn't fire, but water. And so that service center has been out of commission for a couple weeks now.
As well as the Supercharger.
As well as the Supercharger there in Superior. And there's really no ETA. It could be a year or more. You know, we'd be surprised or pleased if it was open a lot sooner than that. But unfortunately, it is out of commission and will probably be for months or years a year to come.
Yeah.
That's where we were supposed to be taking delivery of our Model X.
Yep. As well as Dan.
As well as Dan. That's why I brought it up. So he might, I don't know where, depending on where he lives, it might be closer for him.
I think he's Loveland.
Yeah, so it might be closer for him to go up to Loveland now versus coming down to Littleton. But we don't know.
But if they come in at the same time, we'll take a
We can arrange
Loveland.
it. Yeah. Or we can meet up with them wherever. But unfortunately, we won't be taking delivery at Superior unless they start just bringing in a trailer and some porta potties.
I've heard some rumors.
Yeah.
Again, they're just rumors though, so that's why I really haven't been talking about them. But take into account Tesla leases that building. They don't own that
even
building.
though it was a brand new building.
So if the owner of the building decides not to rebuild, that could be where Tesla's in a sticky situation trying to buy the land, if they would even do that, or have somebody else buy it and rent to Tesla.
There's unfortunately.
Nope.
Could
Tesla be our like?
But it's
renter?
unfortunate. There's a lot of. I don't know what's going to go on because it's so hard over the past year and a half just to get anything built that now.
Let alone 1,000 homes
and all 100-something businesses, because the hotel across the street from the Tesla,
gone.
it was totally wiped out, as were all kinds of other businesses nearby. So it's going to take a while, I think, to rebuild all of that.
All of Superior, the whole town is basically gone. So super sad. Again, we'll kind of see what happens. I have heard from some of my friends that work there that Tesla is just kind of moving everybody around. Some people are able to work from home, so that like no one's like losing their job or anything, which is great to hear. But yeah, it's a weird situation, and we'll have to kind of see how that shakes down. But great to hear from you, Dan. Hopefully your trip was awesome. Can't wait to hear about it next week. Real quick though, Pierre just came in with a $5 super chat. Said, "Let's talk about the 740-mile Model S range."
Yeah, that battery. Remember?
Can I have this battery pack? Also, the back screen is always on now, even with no one in the back seat. I don't think I've seen that. I keep meaning to look at that, but I always
some
forget.
other company they're like building their own battery, and then they did a little test.
So I have some issues with that. Timeout. Somebody messaged me about it, and I responded to them and told them my issues. And I kind of thought about it. So let me find...
Okay, while you look at that, I'll just do a quick comment. That's great. I'm glad to see, I guess, that other companies are going to be doing that, especially if they'll support older vehicles, because there's a lot of older vehicles that are maybe, put a lot of miles or their batteries are worn out, and when they're going back to Tesla, it's between $12,000 and $20,000 to replace it. So it would be nice if there were some other aftermarket batteries, but still, I think they need to have like some official cooperation with Tesla, because you got to make sure that these batteries are going to be Supercharger compatible, and the firmware is not going to brick them,
so
and
here's,
stuff like that.
Here's my thoughts. One, they doubled the battery capacity, but what about cooling, longevity, degradation over time compared to a Tesla battery, etc.? These are not yet proven in those aspects. Yes, you can double the amount of batteries in it, but at what cost? Did they sacrifice any cooling or anything like that? Also, their test, they average 55 miles an hour.
Which is a little slower than like 65, which you would think they would use.
Which is slower than the EPA does, I believe, at 65. And speed is a huge factor. I have driven a Model 3, 606 miles.
Over 600
at
miles.
the right speed.
Yeah.
So I'm just a little concerned with that. But I haven't looked too far into it. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just shoot them an email with some questions and see if they respond because I'm curious.
But I have heard, though, there's at least one other person we know that's famous for hacking or modifying Teslas and stuff. And he sounds like he's getting ready to come out with his own battery for Tesla. So instead of just taking old battery packs and putting, you know, the different cells together and optimizing the I forget what they're called when you have a group of cells, but basically he's maybe coming out with his own battery pack, and so something to look forward here. That these third parties, again, I think that has potential, but I think we need to know more about them, and like you said, you know, like warranties and know all the details. But
the issue with a small company doing these new battery packs is if they have an issue, they can go bankrupt very, very quickly. Batteries probably are not cheap, so it's just like a couple small issues can lead to a lot of big issues, kind of where I'm going with this. So I don't know. I am very excited to see it, though. If anything, I would kind of hope these companies just get bought up by Tesla. Maybe for their tech or whatever. It could be interesting. Let's see. Frank asks, can the new Model S 21-inch wheels fit in a track at a car wash?
I don't know. I would never trust that.
I wouldn't
just
either.
Because I would think they might get curved,
like
and just scratched. And so we never go through an automated car wash like that. But if you do, let us know.
Yeah. MK said, maybe I'll wait until the new headlights update. Do you think it'll be possible to retrofit them? I'm not sure. I have a feeling no, but I'm not opposed to buying one when they come out and trying it.
Yeah. The problem is it might require some firmware update or software configuration.
I'm thinking firmware or maybe even like some additional connectors.
And while it might be totally possible and it might work, as we saw when we've added other hardware like the pedestrian warning speaker thing, you can plug it in, it might work, but if Tesla doesn't flip a bit somewhere, you're not going to get all the functionality. Like we saw, we put in a pedestrian warning speaker in our Model Y as soon as we got it, but it didn't get the boombox feature. And because Tesla didn't allow that to be done. And for a while, Tesla, I think, allowed that change to be made, but I think they've since decided that was too much effort. But it'd be nice if they supported more like independent, garages and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And allowed some of these modifications to be officially supported, because I think that would, a lot of the owners would appreciate that.
Step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll announce it next.
And the right to repair and stuff like that. It would just be nice if it wasn't as locked down. And I think as they grow, there's going to be, their service centers are going to really be stretched thin, which we've seen for the last 3 years or whatever. They just sell more and more vehicles, but they can't keep up with, you can't build that many service centers, I don't think.
Yeah. Just FYI, I am 20 minutes behind on comments. So we are going to speed round. Gabriel said his Model X delayed because of the new headlights and charge port. Maybe. But they are still rolling them off the line because people are still getting like brand new deliveries.
And they've been delayed for the past like 11 months or so. So I don't think it's just the headlights.
Yeah. Ravi said, in the refreshed Model S you got, did you have noise cancellation feature in it? If yes, could you use it or test it? So the long range said calibrating. It is now calibrated. Can't tell a difference. The Plaid also now has it. It calibrated. Can't tell a difference on or off.
Some people have said that they hear it. I
don't hear anything.
We should do that again. Pay attention. But we've tried it. I cannot tell the difference, and I've got really good hearing. So we need to get some microphones around and see. And again, it says it's optimized for front seat. But I can't tell the difference. And again, it's still early on. They've got the hardware in there. Hopefully, the software can be tweaked in the future to make it a lot better.
Yep. Patel said, what do you think is the best key for Teslas? Thinking about buying a key ring. Is it worth it? I actually have one of those, and I actually kind of enjoy it. I mean, I'm not wearing it now, but I actually do kind of enjoy the key ring. I kind of like it. I got one of the all ceramic ones. I think I just got it on eBay, though. There's a lot of sellers now that make a bunch of different materials, so you can kind of cruise around and see what works. D said, I still have the order from the $100 gamble. I'm supposed to get the Model S in the summer. Do you think they'll give me an upgrade with a 2022, or do you think they'll give me a 2021 as that's what I ordered?
Oh yeah, you'll definitely get a 2022 because that far into the year. I mean, again, I got a 2022 in December of last year, so they don't have any 2021s left, or if they do, they would be probably like demo models and stuff like that. So they're going to have miles on them. So if you're getting your car in the summer, it will be a 2022.
Yep. Hockey Day said that's my shower door.
Oh, nice.
It's a good one. We got the same one up in the master bath too.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We
still gotta go to the kebab.
Yeah, I was
grill.
gonna say shish kebab grill.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you online. Sorry about that, but we were just talking about that the other day because I was looking up. We should go down there, especially.
I'm down.
I think.
When do you want to go?
Well,
Roger then commented, next time we drive down to see Eric and David,
we could all
we'll
go
take them to your restaurant. Sounds delicious. It does sound delicious.
I was looking up the shish kebab places the other day though, and like donor and stuff like that. So I haven't seen you around in chat, so I'm glad you're here. We definitely owe you a visit.
Yes, thank you for the reminder. We really haven't been out too many places lately. But I think that sounds delish enough that we can make that happen.
Yeah. I'm glad that he's still around though.
Yes.
Thanks.
Amy said, "What did Scott make for dinner?"
He made like
salmon.
Salmon, I think, with a maple glaze.
Oh.
Yesterday or the other day, we had like salmon like fish tacos, which were quite good.
Those were delicious, actually. Yeah.
But we haven't eaten yet, so I don't know what the other stuff was.
I think it was potatoes, maybe. I don't know. Ronald said, "When will Tesla Model Y diecast come out?" We were just talking about that earlier today too.
Because we still have all the.
Great question.
Or are they going to come out with updated S and X? I don't know, because
I think they are, because the Model S and X online in the shop said last chance, and I think the S is completely gone, and X says last chance. Let's just double check and confirm here. So the S says last chance.
Yeah.
The X is completely gone.
And so so we do have those. It would be pretty easy, I think. So if we look at the S, it would be pretty easy. All they'd have to change is that screen on the inside and,
And the sunroof.
Okay, so they could change that and remove a couple pieces from here. And other than that, it's almost the same vehicle. So they could easily...
I would say 80% of it's already done.
At least is the same. I mean...
Because the interior needs to change.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the cameras aren't full self... they're not autopilot 2 or whatever. But...
Yeah.
Oh, and then gets the trim, the chrome. They got to black it out. But I mean, come on, they can come out with a new model. It's almost all there. So we were just talking about the Y. So hopefully they'll finally come out with one of those.
Yep. Terry said, "What are the benefits of a stock split?" Well, every time a stock split, it drops the entry price point. So say it's at 1,000 and it does a 5-to-1, the price point will drop then to 200 per share. And so anyone who had 1 share would then have 5 shares. But anyone looking to come in can then buy in at 200 instead of 1,000. Makes it a lot easier for people, and that tends to happen with a big surge in buying, which then raises the price back up. We saw this with their last stock split. Yep. It almost shot back up within a month.
It does dilute your ownership because then there's that many more shares out there. But it's, as he said, it's that much easier to buy in. So I don't care about
my ownership. I care about my stock price.
And most people can't. If it's $1,000-something share, people can't buy that much. And so if you only own a few shares, if it goes up $10, you're only going to make a few dollars. If it's $200, you can buy 5 times as many, and then you'll make that much more as the price goes up.
Yeah, but also with
Multiplier.
just like Tesla's outlook and everything like that, if they do another stock split, I think a lot more people would be willing to throw good chunks of change at it and just kind of jump in. I definitely don't think Tesla's going anywhere anytime soon. Besides up, I should say. Not investment advice as well. Let's see. Where are we? Amy said she wants to test track mode with me. Come on down. Let's do this.
Yeah,
it
just has to be a dry day though, so that and warm enough that if you're gonna take those.
If I'm gonna do track mode, I'm putting the slicks on it.
Yeah, but also is the drag track, are they open at this time of the year?
I can get them to open.
Oh, okay. Depending on which one. I mean, the one that we live really close to one, but I haven't heard.
Oh, they are not.
Yeah, they're not close at this time of the year. Yeah.
Track mode is meant for like a race track, not like a drag strip.
Yeah. But I mean, and plus we can't go the top speed anyways, because if you go 150, you get a warning. So you can't get to 175. I mean, you could, but then they're going to kick you off because you've already hit like 160.
Yeah, I think my top was like 160
or 165, something like that.
Yeah,
because I was watching.
And now I think was in it redlined or like maxed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're getting
fun.
close to the 175 even before. I mean, that was last.
I think I need new tires to be able to hit the
Yeah.
175. I don't think these are rated for that. I'll have to look at that. I should. Let's see. Dan said, I'm 21 and don't have a long credit history. And when applying for finance for my Model 3, the only lender I was approved for was Tesla themselves. I didn't know Tesla themselves actually does that. That's cool. I thought they just contracted it all out.
Yeah.
I didn't know. That's cool. I learned some. Real quick, Jim, thank you for the $5 super chat. Said, are you buying any Doge products from Tesla? Thoughts, good or bad idea?
Where do you see that? I saw the announcement when
So-
I went to the website, though it was all still in dollars.
No, so like the Cyber Quad is
Yeah.
12,020 Doge.
But it doesn't have regular dollars. Because when I was looking,
No,
so
you-
not
you-
every product is
You
available.
have to buy it with
What?
Doge. You
That's
have no
weird.
choice.
Yeah.
But you can use it through like Doge wallets and stuff. Personally, market value. Personally, I will not spend any of the Doge I currently hold. I am holding it. I didn't buy it to use it as a currency. That being said, if I wanted to buy anything with Doge through there, I would just buy more Doge and immediately use that. I don't think I would use anything I currently hold.
Yeah, exactly. On the cryptocurrencies I buy, I mean, they've gone way up, and it's like, I don't want to sell them because
Yeah.
I think they're going to go up
Exactly.
even more. And I don't want to think that, oh, well, look, I bought a cyber whistle for this many Doge when I could have bought, a mansion in a couple of
it's like look at the guy for crazy example.
Years ago,
Years ago, he bought
Like a
pizza
pizza.
in Bitcoin, and I
Yeah.
think he gave like 1,000 Bitcoin for a pizza. Somebody do the math for me on that.
Yeah, but it
That's
would
like
worth
$50 million now.
And it's just like, do you really want to
So
risk it? I don't know.
for me, I don't feel like giving up any of my Doge, so I'm just holding it. Let's see. Yas said Plaid is also about top end power, as in 60 miles an hour to 130. True. Unfortunately, though, a lot of people can't legally play with that amount of power. Chris said 2022 Model Y is better than the 2020 Model Y. It's crazy.
Yeah, because they're always
They've
getting
done
better.
a lot of
it's,
updates.
It's, I mean, they're still pretty good 2020, but it's just
I
amazing.
love the new center
They just
console.
keep coming out with stuff.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we still have the old center console.
Does anybody need an old center console here? Please message me on Twitter or
First
email me.
gen, we should
First
say.
gen, sorry. For Model 3 or Y. I have one sitting right out there and I don't need it anymore. Thanks. Let's see. How's the 22 Model Y better? So they have the heat pump.
Well, they always have.
Well, they all
the
did
heat
they
pump.
always?
I'm
Yes,
pretty sure because when you
yes.
first got the first
So-
Y, we opened it up and it's like the heat pump. That's the
Yeah,
first
no,
one.
that's true. They've gotten better with just like sound dampening, everything like that.
But also they added
the glass.
the heated steering wheel. I think the rear, the
new
side,
s-
the side mirrors heated.
Yep.
And,
The new center console.
center console, and these are stuff they added last year. But now we're talking about the new Ryzen chip.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the new Ryzen. Yeah.
All these things we've seen coming from Chinese built ones, so they're coming to the US ones as well.
Yeah.
And again, the car, for the most part, it's the same, but they're just constantly adding new features, and you don't have to wait for that model year. So some ways it's good, some ways it's bad, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Some more talk about Tesla financing. Some people said it's others. Some people said it's Tesla.
Yeah, so basically
Sounds
you apply
like it
through
could
Tesla.
be. I mean,
You apply
he
through
said,
Tesla.
Dan said he called and just even double checked, and Tesla said they are the ones giving him the loan. It's not through
Interesting.
Chase or anyone else.
So we've always they've assigned us to a bank, and it's weird because once it'll be U.S. Bank, next time it's Wells Fargo, next time it's U.S.
It
Bank.
just cycles through.
And I don't know why it just random, but I've heard some people say that, oh, I will never do business with Wells Fargo again. And I can understand that. So next time, if we ever get assigned to Wells Fargo, we're going to say, hey, can we go this? And I've heard that they will actually run you through, and they can possibly reassign you to a different bank if you want.
Yeah. Sorry, I was taking a drink. Let's
Whatever you do,
see.
don't do the puppy cam because it
Why?
would be inappropriate.
Layden Ridge.
This is not that kind of show.
Let's see. Michael said, "Bring back EAP. I basically only want
Yes.
auto lane change. Don't care about the
Exactly.
rest."
I 100% agree. If they had enhanced autopilot, we would buy it. We wouldn't hesitate to buy enhanced autopilot. We do hesitate to pay $10,000 to $12,000 for full self-driving.
Yeah. Roger said he saw pictures of the car that had the aftermarket battery. Sorry, I'm still like 20. No. 15 minutes behind. We're
Right.
working on it. Roger said, I have seen the pictures of the car with the aftermarket battery pack, and the backseat definitely had something in it. So I wouldn't be surprised if the pack was supersized. Oh, man, that kind of
So
kills
yeah,
it.
we just put 2 batteries in.
I know, right? Let's see. Where are we now? Answered a lot of these questions, which is great. John said, do you get loans for all your cars or pay cash? I've done
It
a little bit of
depends.
both.
Yeah.
But I no longer pay cash for cars because if I would have bought Tesla stock instead,
We'd be
my accountant had a long talk with me.
we'd have
and we no
multiple
longer do
millions
that.
of dollars.
We do loans for as much of the car as possible. You have to make sure that you're always okay to be able to pay those loans. But I get the loan for as much as possible and heavily invest my money so that it works for me. And in the long term, the idea is I get all these cool toys and I don't have to worry about ever having to lose money.
But I know you have bought like paid straight out cash on some of those.
And it was a terrible idea.
Yeah, but on mine, I'm kind of like in the middle where I kind of do like 50-50 or 60-40, something like that, percentage-wise. And so I don't do 100% cash, but I don't do the biggest loan possible either. I kind of just choose like, I'll point them a comfortable.
50-50?
Yeah, like the last one I think I did like 60-40 or something.
Oh, okay.
So as so I have a small loan, but it would have been better probably to keep some more money in the bank, but. Again, whatever works for you guys.
Well,
but
originally I was very pro. I don't want any debt. I don't want to have to to owe anybody money or anything.
But the way the market's gone the last year and a half, you could have turned that money 10 times more if you would have put it into investment versus almost free money borrowing it for lending.
Exactly. So like the way it works out is the interest rates are low enough and very low actually. I think they still like hovering around 2%?
2.4 or something,
Okay.
like 2.49, somewhere, last I saw. But
when
I mean,
you look at what you would pay over the lifetime of the loan versus what you can do with that money if you're smart in investing it and everything, you can make way more than what you're paying in interest. And I've had some long conversations, not just with you, but with the accountant, and that is what I should be doing. I should not be paying cash.
And when we got our first Teslas, it was like 1.49 or something.
Oh, it was really
almost
low.
free money. But now if their loan rate does go way up to like 8%, and I think when I bought my first new car many years ago, it was close to 8%, then you might think a little bit more about, putting more down and not borrowing as much.
Yeah.
But these days with it 2-point-something%, if that's what you can get, then that's what we'd say would be to finance it.
Yeah. Not investment advice, but that's what I would do, and that's what I have started doing, and I can tell you it has worked out very well. Quick Ice Car Review said, hi all, just logged in, hope all is well. It is awesome to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Steven said, my Model X was supposed to come in January. Today it now shows it's pushed back to March. Keeps getting pushed back month by month.
So he was expecting it like this
Everybody
month,
in chat, raise your hand if you were pushed back to March.
Can you do a poll?
Yeah. I think I can do a poll.
But,
oh my God, I'm going to do a poll.
But
Are you guys ready for
basically,
this?
it sounds like a lot of people who had January, February got pushed to March. But unfortunately, I wonder did other people who had December, did they get pushed out a month as well? Or are they still December? I don't know.
I didn't realize I can do a poll, and then I was watching someone else's live stream the other day.
Don says that what Tesla website says Superior Store is closed. The Superchargers now say open, which is weird because they said offline. Do you want me to go out and check really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Because when we checked, they were offline, and I will double check really quick. Okay. While you're working that, you can answer the next one.
And we have our first poll on the channel here. Take it if you want. If you have a Model X order, please take it, and I will work on some other questions. Okay. Yeah, Luke said money is cheap. Get a loan even if you have the cash. Definitely. It's weird though. I will say I think it was like my first Tesla. They didn't trust where I got my cash, and I had a loan for the full amount, and then the day before I was supposed to take delivery, the bank called me and said, oh, where did this money come from? And I told them some of my businesses, and they didn't believe me. So it's like, yeah, I just pay taxes on income for fun, even though I don't get it, whatever. So I ended up paying cash for that first one instead of a loan, but I have had zero issues with everything since then. I think just that loan company were just being rude. But whatever it is, I haven't had to use them at all since then, so I'm super happy with that. Let's see. Keith said, how about a live show where you can't say the word maybe? Ooh. How about we have a drinking game where every time I say maybe, we all have to take a shot of Tesla tequila? That could be fun. Speaking of, I don't know where my bottle went. I think it's upstairs. I was drinking some the other day. Let's see. What task would you most want to delegate to a Tesla bot? Everything. I want it to make my food. I want it to mow my lawn. I want it to shovel the driveway. I want it to pick up the dog crap.
Oh, that would be good.
I want it to clean the house. I want it to vacuum. I want it to fluff the pillows.
Everything.
I want it to make the bed. If it will wash my back in the shower, I will gladly let it do that as well.
Okay, so I did run out to the car. So basically, the Tesla Superior is still listed in the car as temporarily offline. And so if they're seeing it on the Tesla website saying it's online, I would say that's probably
I think the
just 'cause
car
they
would
don't-
probably be most up to date.
Yeah, the car is up to date, and I know that people have been out there and checked, and we heard that like the Supercharger shells like this are still fine. It's just like the other equipment that actually connects into those were damaged. And so I would be surprised if they were able to get those. It has been a couple weeks already. They could get it working again, but I don't think that there's I don't think they're going to expedite it to get that one running again because there's nothing there. There's no there's not a lot of restaurants and stuff around. So I don't. And with the Supercharger building, if it's shut down because of damage, that would not be a good Supercharger location to go to because there wouldn't be bathrooms or refreshments or anything like that. So
online it doesn't say anything about it being down, but I would trust the car.
The car says it's temporarily closed, and it's still reported that way. I believe if you go to supercharge.info, that says it's offline. So I wouldn't trust it. I wouldn't rely on it. If you try to navigate, your car will not send you there because they're saying it's closed.
Yeah. Don was asking where the shish kebab place was. Isn't it
right
like
downtown,
right by the Capitol building?
Yeah, isn't it like at Colfax and
almost.
like right by the Capitol?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like across the street or whatever.
Hey Don, if you end up going there, maybe we can all go there. We can have a Tesla event and get some great food.
Yeah.
That's actually not a bad idea. DR said, what are the differences between the 2021 and 2022 Model S long range? Not much. Very minor things. Video coming hopefully this week. In my opinion, not enough to warrant going one direction over the other.
Exactly. I have not heard of any differences so far, but between a 2021 and 2022, if there is something.
Oh, look at
let
that.
us know. But from what we've heard, there's nothing. If there's something behind the scenes, maybe some part number change, but I haven't heard of anything big different.
Yeah. Real quick, Amy hit us up with the address. Thank you, Amy. It's 1503 Grant Street in Denver, Colorado, 80203.
Yeah, and I saw Obed just mentioned that too.
Oh, he did? Okay,
Colfax
perfect.
across from the state capitol. So it is right downtown.
Yeah.
We don't go downtown that often, so that if you were in like Littleton, we'd probably be seeing you every week.
Oh, yeah.
But we'll definitely make an attempt to get over there one of these days.
You bet. Peter said Model Y or Taycan 4S. Model Y, Tesla any day. Although I haven't had a chance to check out a Taycan yet, but I'm just targeting like charging infrastructure and everything else. I'd go with Tesla.
Also, the Taycan, wouldn't it be a lot more expensive?
I think it'd be like double the price. I don't know what the 4S is, what package that is. Maybe that's a cheaper one.
And that's one thing about some of these other, you can pay twice as much if you add on a lot of extras and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know that one, but I'm guessing it's.
Yep. Mark said cryptocurrency will keep going up right to the point where it crashes down to zero and you're not going to have enough warning to get out in time. I'll tell you this. I don't have a ton of money like I do in like stocks and everything in crypto. I have some money that if I did lose it, it wouldn't, I mean, it would suck.
It's kind of like casino or gambling money.
Yeah.
I put like a couple $100 in and I've seen it go up over 10 or 20 times. That's nice, but I don't need to sell it right away because it could go up even more. But if I lose it, I only put it in 100 or 200, so it could go down 90%, and I'd still get my money back out.
Oh, your mic is dead.
Oh no.
Okay, time out. Battery swap. Hot swap the battery. Thank you for the text.
So they didn't hear what I just said about what were we talking about?
Was that Dan that texted me? I think it was Dan.
What were we talking about though? So the
Yep, it was. Thank you, Dan.
thanks.
We were talking about crypto. So, long story short, he has a couple $100 he put into crypto to play with, and it's gone way up. So if he loses everything, he only loses a couple $100.
Yeah, but if it's up 10 times or 20 times what I put in, that's nice, but it's gone up so well, I'm going to let it continue going up. If it drops 90%, I'd still get all my money back out. And if it drops 100%, it was like, you know, a day at the casino or, you know.
I have put in a lot more money than a couple $100, but I'm still saying, like, I am careful. I do keep a very close eye on it. I have notifications, but if I lose it, it's something where it's like, well, it would suck, but it wouldn't be like the end of the world.
I think you got to thank a couple people just sent
so
super chats. Thank you very much.
I really appreciate everyone letting me know David's mic is dead, but please don't send money to tell me David's mic is dead, because I feel bad now.
Yeah, but thank you very much.
Thank you to Devon, Jim, and Dan.
Oh, wow, we got three
for the super chats about David's.
Oh yeah, and I just got Amy just sent me another message.
We should kill his mic more often.
No,
No, I'm just kidding.
But Amy just sent me a message too, so it's like
thank you guys
very
so much. I do appreciate it. It should be working.
I'm surprised it died, but oh well.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I went outside and it was cold, but no, I was only out there for a few seconds.
Yeah,
so.
no, it wouldn't be it. And Dan, and yeah, thanks to
everybody. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's so funny. Yeah, we're gonna kill that mic more often for that. Holy crap! No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much though for the super chats. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Where was I? Genius said, "Do you guys honestly recommend Tesla Solar? And if you have solar, are you close to overproducing?" We do recommend it. I know some people have had problems with it lately.
We've had it for.
We haven't had any issues, but I guess it's kind of like maybe getting it installed, because it seems like they are kind of backlogged a little bit, can be kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, and so
but
we've been like 99% happy with ours. I mean, we had a couple problems. 2020, but that was because of our utility, and they didn't have a sufficiently sized transformer to power our house and our neighbors, so we kept getting these like reported outages, and we had like 800 outages. We didn't lose power, the power walls kept things going, but because of those outages, if the battery was full, it would turn off our solar because there was no place to send the energy.
Yeah.
Because we were getting dirty power from the grid. That problem was fixed when the utility finally installed a new transformer back at the end of 2020, I guess it was. And so we're probably like 99% happy with our Tesla Solar. And we do have a quick solar update, like lifetime, just so we've had a little over 3.5 years. We started out again with 16.5 and we expanded it a year later to 20.5 kilowatts. But we have used 82,885 kilowatt hours over those like 3.5 years. But we've generated 83,655. So we have over 100% offset that we've generated. We have basically an 800 kilowatt hour surplus over the past 300 years. So that's not huge over 3 years, but that accounts for all of our power used at the house, charging all of our cars, because we have only had Teslas for like 5 years now. We don't have any gas vehicles, and so that's all of our driving, and we have a surplus, and it's probably about 101%, but I'm expecting it to be up to 103, 104% when we get into the summer, because we way overproduce in the summer, and then our credits roll over to cover our December, January months.
Yeah. We need to do a thorough breakdown.
Update, yeah. There's still something with our utility. That's why we still haven't done this. But there's still some issue with our utility, but it's not related to Tesla Solar. It's still with our electric company.
Yep. Real quick, I'm going to end the poll. And then, let's see, was your Model X pushed to March? 56% of people said yes. 43% of people said no. With 25 votes. So 25 people had an X on order.
So I wonder if, but some of the people, I wonder if they said no.
If it said later.
Maybe it's because it's later than March. Yeah.
Let's see. Jim, thank you for the $2 super chat. Really appreciate that. Said thoughts on Germany saying don't buy ICE vehicles.
I agree. That's
Dude,
good.
thumbs up.
I saw somebody else said that earlier, that the politicians are saying that. And it's like, yes, they're going to be around for another decade or whatever more, but there's countries out there that are already planning on banning the sale of ICE vehicles. So do you really want to buy an ICE vehicle knowing you're not going to be able to, it'll be worthless in a few years.
Yeah, you won't be able to sell it.
In some of these countries, you won't be able to sell it. I guess they might be exporting to some countries, or maybe they're going to be sending them all to some, unfortunately, some third world countries or places, that aren't able to just ban ICE vehicles immediately. But I would not, we haven't owned ICE vehicles in like 5 years. So I can definitely say the future, the writing's on the wall, definitely go EV. And I'm glad to see that the government is saying that. Hopefully these German politicians, they are heard by, the German auto manufacturers, and they see that's the case, and they need to switch their models over to all EV.
Definitely. I'm like 20 minutes behind again, so sorry. We've got on some rants. It's been 2 weeks. Diego said purchased from the Tesla shop with Doge. It was cool. What'd you purchase, Diego? Are we allowed to know? Just curious. Did you get that Cyber Quad, or was it a Cyber Whistle? Let's see.
It's weird how they only do some things in Doge and other.
Yeah,
that's why it's confused.
I think they're still testing it to see, is this a good idea?
That's because confused, because I heard them mention that, you can buy stuff in Doge, and I went and looked. Nothing I looked at had a Doge price. It was all in dollars still, so I just gave up and was like, okay, I don't see it.
Yeah. JM said my Model Y should come in 2 to 3 months. Hope it has the AMD processor. I think you have a very high chance of getting it.
Probably, yeah.
Yep. D said, would you get the upgraded wheels for the Model S or just wheels from T Sport line? I would do T Sport line because I'm not a huge fan of the 21-inch. While they look great in Colorado, they just don't ride well.
The nice thing though is we have noticed they seem a lot quieter, but that's I think on the new S, just the noise dampening and
definitely
and the air suspension is better, so the ride is much quieter than it was in the past, but it's still going to be cheaper, I think, too, to go with aftermarket wheels, and also, especially on tires, those 21-inch tires are quite expensive, and they do not do well. Scott can tell you, he's had multiple flats.
Yes. Bill said, do you guys believe the rumor they're making a Cybertruck Mini? If they would literally copy every feature of the full size, it'd be amazing. Just don't think they'd need quad motor. I haven't heard that. But I would be interested in
I
that.
know at one time Elon said they were going to downsize a little bit, and then they decided, no, we're going to keep it the same. But I don't know. They need to do something. But I don't think they're going to come out with 2 Cybertrucks with 2 totally different sizes at once. And hopefully, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I'd be happy if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Dan said he has eaten there, and it's great.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we definitely need to go. Let's see. Jay said, my loan is through DCU. It is 1.49, insanely low.
Better.
Credit unions, you can get some really good deals on. So, like, if you get something back from Tesla and you're not happy with it, by all means, shop around. But yeah, credit unions are generally going to have cheaper than like a Chase or Wells Fargo or whatever.
That's amazing, because that's like the rate we were getting like back in 2016 when I bought my first S. It was like 1.49 through Tesla. So it's amazing they're still having such low rates. And again, I saw Mark mention that you don't want to finance stuff, and he's talking about paying, if you do have like a 10% rate, you're going to pay 3 times as much for the house and stuff like that. Definitely on those
big purchases.
That's why I said too, like my first car loan at 8%, I would not finance it all at 8% these days. But if you're down at like 1 or 2%, you're not paying much at all. And again, with us, we don't keep the car typically for the full life of the loan. So we're not even paying, the estimated value of the loan, because we sell it within a couple of years.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, it's all about what's the best for you, to be honest. Like I know some people that will strictly pay cash, and I don't blame them because they just don't want the debt. But also, as Luke pointed out, if you are young, it is a great way to improve your credit score. And your credit score is huge when you think about it. So if you really want to like build that up, again though, you need to make sure you make your payments on time. That's a great thing to do. Roger said those all sound like appropriate uses for Tesla Bot, not Judgeskins-esque at all. Yeah. Very PG rated for me. We'll say that. I would love to hear what Jeremy would use it for.
No.
I'm sure that would be an interesting conversation. Mark said that's dumb to get a loan if you have the cash. Is that what you were just talking about? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It is compounded, yes, but like on the loan paperwork, they actually tell you like how much you will end up paying over the 5 years.
Well, it's just like too, if you have a credit card and they say if you pay the minimum amount, then you're gonna pay like $10,000. If you pay 4 times that, you're only gonna pay 1,000. So definitely, you pay more if you let the whole balance ride and stuff like that. But if you
Definitely.
pay it off with credit cards, though, I never carry balance in there. But the interest rates on credit cards are way higher, than what
And
I
that's like,
pay
if
my-
anyone's listening, try to never carry a credit card balance because that will rob you of so much money.
Yeah.
So let me see here. I have like my loan paperwork. So I got a loan, I'll be straight up, 100K for the Plaid. So I put down like 30 grand and got a 100K loan for it. In total, the finance charge will be a little under $8,000 over 5 years.
But if you only
But
keep
if
it for
I paid that 100K up front, I would not have that 100K to reinvest, and I guarantee you that $8,000, I probably made that back in a few months.
Yeah, or if you would have had a few shares of Tesla stock
Yeah,
or
oh,
whatever,
yeah.
you could have made
It's
that
like-
in a day.
I can make that $8,000
But
back
again,
in
that's
a few
if
months.
you have to have an asterisk because not
yeah.
everybody can make that if they don't invest correctly
True.
and stuff like that. But another thing, so you told like on the Plaid, so on my car, my loan was only like 30 something thousand for the long range S.
33, I think.
Yeah. So a much smaller payment, so I am, I did put a lot more cash down on that, but again, it was a lot cheaper car too.
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting to all the comments about David's
Yes,
mic
the
being
mic's
off.
good
That's
now.
embarrassing.
Hopefully it doesn't die
Sorry.
again because I see it only has one bar, so
Sorry.
we need to, it says 2, I guess it says 2 hours, so hopefully that's good enough.
Yeah. God, that was funny. But yeah, if you are looking at like financing, by all means, make sure that there's no prepayment penalty. I actually, one of my first car loans, I paid it off early and I was hit, I think, with like $500 prepayment penalty, which is
Yeah.
stupid. But some banks still try to throw that in there. So be careful you don't
read
have
the fine
that.
print. And I ran into that with a mortgage once, and which was unheard of in Colorado. But I've financed online, and they got me from someplace in like South Carolina, and there was like a $5,000 prepayment penalty. And so that's again, while I will never do business with Wells Fargo. So because actually I did the loan through Westera, or not Westera, some other company,
And then they bought
Wachovia,
them.
who then got bought by them. And so when I bought it through whatever, but basically there was not supposed to be prepayment, it was said whatever, but I will never do business with Wells Fargo again.
Yeah. Robert said, what's your favorite version of the Model 3? The long range. I think favorite versions are definitely going to be the more economical versions of that car. So I would say just like the long range all-wheel drive is probably my favorite, but the performance is definitely a little bit more fun. Jay said, I have Tesla Solar, still can't get PTO. It's been 3 months. Paying for a system I
Yikes.
can't use yet. Sucks.
Yeah.
Did you ever reach out to me? I can't remember if it was you or somebody else, but I got some other people, a hold of some people at Tesla. If you haven't yet, email me admin@teslainventory.com and I will see if I can't get somebody to get a hold of you, because that's not good. Oh,
I would be
dog cam.
I would be very upset and frustrated. Yeah, if I paid all that money, because
Yeah.
plus you lose out on the excitement and all that energy too. I'd be very disappointed.
Yeah. You're losing a lot, and you shouldn't be. So
And there should
definitely let me know if you can't.
Yeah,
get a hold
I
of
would
me.
try to escalate it again, like contact us or whatever, and we could try to escalate it or tell you somebody to contact. And if that doesn't work, there are, depending on what state you're in, there's different legal steps you can take to get a response.
Yeah,
But
totally.
again, it might not be Tesla's fault. It could be the utilities. We saw that when we were waiting for permission to operate, our utility company waited till the very last day, with 15 minutes before like the deadline. They came out, on Friday at like 4:45 p.m. and it was like 6 weeks or something, which they basically had 6 weeks to turn it on. They came out at like 5 weeks, 6 days, 23 hours, and 45 minutes. So we definitely know that the utilities don't have that incentive to do everything. But it could be their fault, it could be Tesla's. We don't know.
Yep. I saw Kim's in chat today. Welcome, Kim. Hopefully all is well on the east side of the U.S. I saw you said something, and then it says it was retracted. But anyway, hope all is well. Let's see.
You see, Fred was talking about the Taycan Turbo S was over $200,000, so slightly more expensive than a Model Y.
Oh my God! You could buy like 3 Model Ys.
But a totally different car. So I don't know. Maybe the Turbo S is different. Maybe they have,
Yikes.
the other Taycans might be cheaper. I don't know, but that's still a lot more than a Model
I didn't
Y.
realize they had any over 200K. That's crazy to me. Let's see. And Dan said, "Oh, it's not a bill; it's a revision to a policy under the public utilities in relation to the Solar California bill."
Oh yeah.
See, there's so many states that are like trying to do
Yeah.
stuff, but it's like I haven't talked too much about that because it's like so many of them are so like wishy-washy. You never know.
But also, yeah, it's different per state too. But yeah, that's really crazy. It's like it would be very expensive to own solar. It's not worth it if you're going to have to pay a certain fee per kilowatt or whatever that you. It's not. It's not allowed. I mean, nice thing is since we've gotten solar, the laws have gotten better in Colorado, and they're actually. When we first got solar, we were limited. We had to prove how much electricity we needed, and they limited how much we could put in. Luckily, since then, they've reduced that cap, and you can put in as much as you want.
Yeah, it is kind of stupid. How like why are they going to limit me? I should be able to put in whatever I want. Anyway, my little soapbox. Let's see. John said, how much to upgrade to the new chip for my Model Y? Unfortunately, I don't know. Tesla hasn't released if they'll even do that. I would say, if anything, it's probably going to be like, what do you think, 1,500?
To 2,500, somewhere in there. But again, I'm not even expecting that anytime soon, because the reason why they had to offer that on the Model S and X is because when those cars were first released in October of 2016, they said those cars had everything that was necessary for full self-driving. And then later on, when they ended up changing the cameras in Autopilot 2.5, and then they changed the radar, then they changed things again with the Autopilot 3 computer, they had to kind of keep their word on those 2016, 2017, 2018 vehicles. And so these other cars, I don't know if they will be upgradable. Yeah. I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
But the thing is, it's nice how it is modular. They can just pop out the computer. So but theoretically it's possible, but the problem is they don't want to have to deal with...
It's not as easy as it once was because now they're liquid cooled.
Yeah.
So they have to drain the whole system. It's actually quite tedious, and it's not something they can really do in the field, which sucks. Roger said, I will personally not pay FSD more than 10K.
We agree. We won't either.
Spot on, Roger. Let's see. Germany, from Nicholas, said Germany's setting aside 2% of their land for wind energy. Nice. Love that. Super clean. All in One said, I have a 2020 Tesla S, and I'm very disappointed because I don't have blind spot camera in my car.
Where did you jump to?
It's at 710.
I don't see that. Did you skip a bunch of things or something? Oh, there it is. Okay.
There were some that we kind of like already answered.
So 2020. Okay, so it means 2020. Yeah. And yeah. So we see that same thing.
Shouldn't that already have it?
No, because the older processors, that was one of the things on the chart that they're not.
I agree. That is a bummer.
And the same thing on our 2017. It has all of the same hardware. They're just not a software. I would think the 2020 though was new enough. But yeah, I think
that's what I was thinking.
It's like or is it Intel or something?
Yeah.
I can't. You'd have to look at the chart. But it's just like it has the capability, the same cameras as what the newer cars have. They're just not doing it because of a software issue, and they don't want to spend time, working on older vertical screens on Model S.
Yeah. It looks like PSAM took delivery of a Plaid Model X.
Oh.
Wow. Ordered in July, white on white, 6-seat, 20-inch wheels. Ooh, sounds good.
Well, congratulations to you. But I know that a lot of people are going to be upset. There's something.
Well, he said at first was told delivery would be in November, then pushed to February. Then on 12/27, they said the car would be delivered 12/31, and he took delivery.
Yeah, so probably somebody canceled
jealous.
then. So somebody else had probably placed an order, then either didn't get the financing or dropped out of it, and they give you a call. So we see that a lot where people, if you answer the phone at the right time, you get a delivery a lot sooner.
Yeah.
But I know that a lot of people are like, but I've been waiting a year, or I've been waiting a year and a half, and then they give it to a guy. But congratulations to you, but it's just unfortunate for these other people who have been bypassed.
Yeah. Dan, great comment. Investments are a lot like underwear. What fits you might not fit others.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great saying. I love that. I'm going to have to steal that. Kim said, you think 12K for FSD is the breaking point for anyone looking to make the purchase outright? I feel like anything above 10 is psychologically a tough pill to swallow. I think 10K is even tough to swallow, especially given where it's at. If it was ready to ship, it was ready to go, 10K, easy.
Yeah.
I just.
But they're not adding. We're not seeing anything new, and they're just
No.
raising the price, and they keep raising the price.
And that is why on the Plaid, on the long range Model S, on the X that we're getting, we are not getting FSD on any of those. For the Cybertruck, as long as they continue and will keep valid what we locked in FSD at, I will gladly take it at that, because I think that was what, 7K
on the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
If they keep it, yeah.
If they allow that, I will do that. But it's like even 10K is tough.
7K might be worth it. And again, we've talked about earlier, if they still had enhanced autopilot, we would buy that for 5K, no problem.
Yeah,
but when you're getting up to above 10, it's like we're not even considering it.
Yeah, I mean, 12K is so much money, especially if you're looking at like a Model 3 or Model Y.
Yeah.
12K is like almost a quarter of the car's value that you're paying extra for software. It's very tough. I will say though, for the long range, since we didn't buy it, I have not subscribed to that either, and I've been fine. Now the one thing that really sucks is it doesn't do auto lane changes, and that's where the enhanced autopilot was so great, because it was kind of like a happy medium. So I don't know.
Definitely, I'll miss that, but it's just like I can drive my car instead of paying $12,000. Again, if it did everything, if I could send my car to go pick somebody up at the airport, I'd pay for it. But until then, not gonna happen.
Yeah, because I mean, even on our early cars, we paid what, $3,000 for enhanced.
It was the other way.
Oh, it was the other way.
When Autopilot 2 started, it was enhanced was $5,000, and then it was $3,000 full self-driving. Sometimes they did have a sale and they brought it down to $2,000, so the total price would have been for all the functionality would have been $7,000. But remember back in the day too, they used to charge you a penalty that if you added it at a later time, they would add like another $500 per package. So if you didn't add either one of those and you added them later, it was $1,000 extra just to get what you could have bought. It was a penalty. They finally got rid of those penalties.
Oh, thank God.
But over $7,000, it's like, I'm not.
Now that we're talking about it, though, I can't believe we paid $7,000 back then.
Yeah,
but because again, look at the 2017 100D.
Yeah.
I didn't get to utilize anything I paid for FSD on that car.
And a lot of people even bought cars in 2016. 5 years, and they bought a car or leased it, paid for that package, never got any use out of it.
Yeah. I mean, we did that on several cars. The Model X that we sold, the Model 3 Performance, Model 3 all-wheel drive. Yeah. Oh God. Okay. We're going down a dark hole there. So
yeah, it's like I think instead of making it more expensive, they should just lower the price. Like we were talking about, other ones are like, I don't know, is it? Volvo is supposed to be coming out with one subscription only, and GM or Ford, one of them, it's going to be like $20 a month.
Yeah.
And so to charge $200 a month or $12,000, I don't think they're going to have a really big take rate on that. So maybe they're raising the price because they don't want people to buy it. They want them to subscribe to it. I don't know.
I would love to see the back end numbers for subscriptions versus purchases. Yeah. I would love to see that.
And again, our opinion would change too if it was transferable, because we've bought so many cars over the years, and if I have a license for like an editing program, a graphics editing program, and I buy a new computer, I'm able to move that software over to the other computer.
Fun fact, they don't do that anymore.
Some of them can.
So I use Adobe Suite.
But again, I don't pay for subscription software because again, I hate subscriptions.
I use Adobe to edit everything, and
but like games, you were talking about with games. If you buy a game,
that's
buy the disc and you can move it. You can install it on another place. You can move it around. What if you bought a game and you could only play that game and you had to buy it nobody's going to buy the same game for every single PlayStation. You want that to be able to move, and especially when it costs $10,000.
I don't necessarily agree it should keep moving. I would say maybe once.
At least once, yeah.
I would say once maximum, because otherwise I think Tesla would lose too much. And I'm speaking on both sides, from an investor as well as an owner.
Or even have a transfer fee. If it's like $2,000, $3,000,
I agree.
Let me transfer it. I'll pay $3,000 to transfer it, because we already paid $60-something thousand over the past few years.
So what's $3,000? Yeah. No, okay. I don't mind the transfer fee. I'm actually more on board with that. Maybe I should send off some emails. Okay. Anyway, great.
We'll get off our soapbox again.
Yeah, we've gotten on a couple soapboxes today. It's been quite a day. Awesome to see you, Kim, though. Hope all is well. But yeah, I don't know. I know you're planning on getting a new X. What are your opinions? Are you planning on getting FSD on that new X or not? I'm curious to know. Mark said okay.
Yeah,
So
basically said the same thing. That it's like they're trying to prevent people or discourage them from buying full self-driving.
Yeah. Let's see. Michael said to turn on the seat heat, push the left stalk forward and touch the button on the screen.
Well, we can't do that on the Model S because there are no stalks.
Valid. There's only one Model S refresh with stalks, and that was an aftermarket thing. Brandon, sorry I missed your super chat. $2 super chat. Really apologize for that. We were venting. Said, is AMD worth delaying the Model Y delivery for? I have a feeling they're going to start putting AMD in it within like the next couple months.
Well,
so
somebody
depending on
posted the thing they're already seeing that. In some
yeah,
vehicles.
that's right. So
it might already depending.
that might be tough.
I don't know. Is he the one that said that he already has a delivery date? I don't know, but it's like
Do you have already a delivery date, Brandon?
because it sounds like they might have just recently started those. Or, there might still have some that are rolling off the line with the old ones, but they might already have the Ryzen chip.
Yeah. I don't know. We need, yeah. Let us know, and we can. That'll give us a better idea. Real quick, John though, with the other $5 super chat, really appreciate that. Said back in 2000, I bought lifetime OnStar for $400.
Nice.
I was allowed to transfer it 3 times to 2 different vehicles.
That sounds fair.
Yeah.
And then but that okay, you're gonna have to pay for it if you ever transfer it to another one, or they just won't let you, I guess.
Yeah.
But that was at $400, and they're letting you transfer it. Now here's something for 10 or 12,000. Sorry. And what if you drive that car off the lot, gets totaled?
So that's the kicker for me. And we've seen several people that have reached out and talked to us about it. And it's like, I can buy it, and if your car gets totaled, they don't always factor that in, especially if you buy that software after you took delivery and it wasn't on your MVPA. A lot of insurance companies haven't been giving people money for that. And I would be very upset if someone totaled my car and I had purchased FSD afterwards and the insurance company was like, oh, well, it wasn't here on your MVPA, so like we're not gonna reimburse you for that.
And that's another thing we were talking about too, is what if instead of staying with the car, what if it stayed with the person? And this is something we brought up, or I saw Dan was talking about Steam. And that's something too. If I go log into my Steam account on any computer in the world, at least whenever I've done that, I can play anything in my library because those belong to me. And what if I just paid for full self-driving and I could go log into the car and be able to use that? So if you go through 10 cars, I wouldn't matter if it stayed with me instead of the car. So I know they're not going to do that, but it kind of, if we go to software that's a lot cheaper, they allow that. So it'd be nice if they did it on expensive stuff. So, okay. Eric stepped away for a minute. I don't know why. It's getting close. Oh, it's actually past time for dinner, but luckily the dogs haven't realized that yet. So.
Yeah, we're a little overdue for dinner, but real quick, dog cam. They're being cute as always. Layden, what's this?
Yeah, see, Diego just said his friend got a Y yesterday and has the AMD chip. So,
awesome.
So they are doing deliveries with those now. So I think going forward, any new ones would have that. And if you did find out that if you're going through the delivery appointment and you check it and you see it doesn't have the chip you want, you could talk with them and see if, kind of like we said, we originally got a 2021 VIN and we said, we don't want a 2021. We'll wait 2 more weeks and we'll get a 2022. And you might be able to do that at least once. They're not going to let you do a half a dozen cars saying, no, I want this, I want that. But you might be able to delay to a different vehicle.
Yeah. Let's see. Michael did say the subscription probably also going up, which I guess we'll see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be an interesting day.
Yeah.
Praheev, hopefully I pronounced that
I don't know
correctly.
if you heard when you stepped away, but I was talking about Steam and how if I buy games on Steam, I can go log into any computer and I can play those games.
I have
it
Steam
follows
on
me.
this computer, that computer, and my laptop.
It follows me, and it's like it would be nice if that would have been the case with I bought full self-driving. I own it. Let me use it on any car I use, but it doesn't work that way.
Do you think they might change it once it's a finished product, so to speak.
I don't know, but also I think they're going to have to do it because with all these other manufacturers that we said, they are only doing subscription only, or they're charging way less. So I think Tesla's got to do something. It's been, they've been
Okay, then how about this? What if Tesla goes a subscription only route, but instead of $200 a month, it's $100?
That seems like a much better deal. I mean, I don't know if I'd still pay $100 because as I said, I don't like it. But that comes to be more worthwhile because if I keep the car for 5 years, that wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah, that'd be what, $6,000?
Yeah,
over 5 years.
Yeah,
so that's not terrible. I don't know.
Yeah,
I still think the $200 price point is because of the or what Tesla prices FSD at to buy outright. But yeah, maybe they should look at a subscription model that's kind of cheaper all around. Maybe they'd get more pull, more people doing it. I don't know. I hate subscriptions too, though.
Yep.
But let's see. Pradeep said, I got denied from Tesla Solar because garage being converted into living space. Service relocations not allowed under the underground lines, but the person who came to my house said my garage is fine. That's weird. I would ask for some clarification from Tesla and be like, why this doesn't make any sense. But also, because your garage was converted to a living space, but we have solar panels on the roof of the house.
Yeah.
Which is also a living space.
Yeah, I don't know.
So how does that work?
I don't know.
I would ask for
Maybe,
clarification.
I don't know. Yeah, we don't have enough information on that.
Let's see.
Well, Brandon, he was talking about his. He said his delivery was today, and he was talking. Wait, later on, he said something. Trying to see. He said, "Oh yeah, if car failed the surface inspection for paint issues, but it's Intel, so he can either have them fix it or reject it." Well, if that's the case, if you want the AMD and it failed because of paint issues,
reject it.
I would reject it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice that they will fix it. And one of my first Teslas, there was like a clear coat issue. So I just said, fix it. And they fixed it, and it looked perfect. But if there's something else wrong with the vehicle, such as that, then I would tell them, you want a different car.
Yeah.
It might delay your your satisfaction. You might have to wait a couple more weeks or whatever. But if that way, you would get the car you want.
Definitely. Kim said no, she removed FSD a few weeks ago. She said FSD was the only feature they'd allow me to remove without changing the order from an 89K base to 105K base. Though it took speaking to 3 different sales reps to pull it off.
Yeah. Was that for her ex?
Yeah. So we've removed it from actually
couple cars.
The Plaid, the long range, and the X coming up.
Yeah.
And we've just done it through the website or just told them. But that's wild. But we have not been allowed to change
anything else.
I did on the Plaid.
But that was way back because originally it was Plaid, then Plaid Plus, and then this. True. So we changed something on that. And
but I actually told them
we were willing to
for
take
your
anything.
Long range that I would consider the long range same build but with the 19-inch rims, and they said that would actually put me into the new price point, which would be like $5,000
so we didn't do that.
More than what we were paying for the long range with the arachnids, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
So instead we just took delivery with arachnids
stupid.
and then took them off.
Yeah.
So
that was kind of weird. But yeah, that's interesting to say the least. So Brandon, I guess let us know what you decide to do. I'm kind of curious. Hopefully it works out for the best, but if something failed inspection for paint issues, I don't know I would want to touch that.
And again, I don't know. It depends.
Although some after factory paint fixes are better than factory. So I will say that.
Or again, it's like, how bad was it? Again, because, was it a little tiny speck here or a nub here or the clear coat? Because the paint was fine on my car. It was just a clear coat. So I wouldn't be that concerned. But if there's, again, I would, if he wants a different computer, I would get the different computer.
Yeah.
Especially as we've seen other people already getting those delivered.
Yep. GWKJR said, I live in Denver and I'm going to sell my 2020 Model Y Performance with FSD, 2,800 miles, real low. Said, I hate selling cars, but thought I'd do it this time. What's the best way to advertise? Honestly, for that vehicle, I would try Carvana, Vroom, CarMax, and see what your offers are with those, because some of them have been paying really well, and it's a really easy deal.
And we sold a car, through Vroom over the summer last year. I just had to put in a couple values, got an email back. They basically said they'd buy it for more than we thought, they would say. And they sent a truck out within like a week or two, took it away. And it was very effortless. And so it doesn't hurt to check those. And they can vary greatly in the offers that they give you. So I would check more than one of them. And that way, it's a lot easier than having to go through a private sale. But, if those don't sound good to you, then maybe consider the private sale. And we've sold stuff online on eBay and other stuff, and no problem. We've sold many cars over the year, but it was the easiest one was probably, there was the Billionaire, it was pretty easy. But
yeah, he was ridiculously easy.
The Vroom one was pretty effortless as well.
Yeah. I would definitely just check those three. If that's a good offer that they give you, it's just a much easier than dealing with somebody private, not gonna lie. Mr. DSN189 said it would be cool if FSD followed you in a rental car. That would be cool.
Yes, again, that's what I said. If it stayed with the driver, you've paid for it.
The issue I can see, though, is people would just let other people use their driver profile to get it.
Yeah, I guess you could see that. But you could also limit it to one active account or something like that.
Okay, that could work. Yeah.
Or also they could see, like, your phone. I guess, there's different ways they could lock it down so that you can't just go and like, okay, now you can use it for an hour. Now you can use it for an hour. But there's ways they could limit usage.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know if you brought this up, but Dan said, isn't Tesla making it so your car settings can follow you from car to car using the cloud? If they do that, they could do it with FSD also. I think so, but I haven't seen that feature yet.
They could. So, it would be nice.
Yeah, it'll be interesting when that rolls out. Mark did say by the time FSD is completely competent and legal, it'd be cheaper and easier for Tesla just to swap your vehicle for a whole new car if you have a 2018 or older with FSD.
Yeah.
So let's buy a few.
Yeah.
Let's roll those dice.
And that kind of brings up another thing we've talked about in the past. If they were really coming out with a $25,000 Tesla that can totally drive itself, why would anyone pay $12,000 on a car that they've already spent like $100 and something thousand on?
Yeah.
When you can just get a $25,000 car that does everything. It doesn't make sense to them to raise it to 12 if they're going to offer a $25,000 car.
Yeah. I mean, something is fishy there.
I mean, it's nice having a nice looking car and all this stuff, but if I could buy a 25,0und car,
what if it looks like a bean?
I don't care if it's 25,000 and it can drive itself. I don't care what it looks like.
Heard it here first, folks. Who can make me a bean that drives itself? Because I will buy it.
Yeah.
And David will.
We could have but again, at that price, you could buy a fleet of them, and then you could have your Tesla taxi, turbo or whatever, your taxis.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Wave said probably gonna end up buying a new car before the Cybertruck launches. Maybe a Mercedes or maybe even a Porsche Taycan. Bold choices. Not gonna lie. Like speaking of other vehicles. Sorry, another tangent. Here we go. I'm a little disappointed with my Rivian.
Reservation, yeah.
Yeah. So I have a reservation in for that, and I got an email 2 weeks ago, saying I am not scheduled to take delivery of my vehicle, I think, until the last half of 2023.
Yeah, so it was almost 2 years.
And I was just like, oh, that sucks. And then, because I ordered the Max Pack, so I wanted like the 400 plus mile range. But it did also say they'll be reaching out to people in January to see if they want to switch from a Max to the regular one, which is 300 miles. And that I could probably get in 2022. Sorry, I hit my mic. I haven't heard anything from Rivian. And it's like, if they want me to do that, please call me, because I will probably do that if you can get me a vehicle like soon. I'm a little disappointed.
Yep.
But everything is slow. It's not just Tesla. It's not just Rivian. Everyone's slow rolling stuff out. It just sucks.
So Bill's saying that he's having problems posting links, and you're not allowed to post links in chat just because you could be spamming the account, and they are
Tesla actually, or not Tesla.
YouTube.
Holy crap! YouTube doesn't allow people to post links because there's no way to verify where that link is going and validity of that link. I don't think it's a setting I ever turned on. If it is, it was
Basically,
like a
Eric
default.
we can post
so-
links, but you can't.
Yeah.
And so we'll try to Google that and see about the Cybertruck. That's when he was talking about the different Cybertruck versions.
Okay.
And I haven't heard
Can
anything
you
recently.
either tweet it at me or DM me on Twitter? I haven't checked Twitter in a while, but I'll be checking it later tonight. And I will check it out. That would be helpful. Just tweets are great. Just tag us and we'll see it. Let's see. Amlet said, does anyone know if it's just the AMD CPU but no added GPU? Or did they add a GPU as well?
Yeah, I haven't heard that yet.
I haven't
So
either.
it's like all these people might be getting really excited about, oh, I want this.
Yeah.
Because we know that in like the Model S is supposed to have this whatever gigaflop, teraflop computer for gaming,
Yep.
which doesn't have any software yet.
Lol.
But what if this is just a new, car computer that does nothing for media or infotainment purpose?
That would suck.
We don't know yet. So hopefully, once these cars are getting delivered, we'll start getting some information on that.
Yeah.
But without the software, it's kind of hard to.
Without software, it doesn't really mean much.
Just like we're still waiting for a lot of stuff on the Model S and,
Yep.
and stuff. Like the rear screen still can't play any games or anything. And the games that were mentioned almost a year ago.
The Witcher.
Yeah, still don't exist, and you still don't have the ability to have like separate sound for the rear screen versus the front. These are some must-have things I think they have to offer soon, and we know the car has the right hardware to support this, and it could
Yeah.
have different audio for front and rear, but or some rear headphones or something like that. But they're still missing that, so hopefully that's something we'll see here this year.
Yeah, a great point. Sorry, I meant to go full screen. So this is Model S page. Scroll down. The first thing you see is The Witcher. And it has been that way for a year. Still don't have it. And then actually,
Well,
we're
50
going to get
weeks. It's 2
up
weeks shy of a
close Witcher. But like they say it has like more processing power than like the PS5 or whatever. But I want to play it like that. I would love some games. They need to open it up or something. Chris is in chat. Awesome, Chris. Hopefully all is doing well. He said, I really want the new AMD chip and HEPA upgrade. Will pay. The HEPA upgrade, I see Amy also wants that. That is definitely going to be an available retrofit, I think. I think there's plenty of room in there, as I recall.
Yep.
It's been a while since I've taken apart a Model Y or 3 without that. But I'm pretty sure there's room in there for that upgrade. And I think even Tesla mentioned that would be available at some point. But the AMD chip, that'll be a little bit more interesting how that goes. Let's see. Luke said, I think it's an AMD integrated GPU.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
like a GPU on
Both.
CPU.
So yeah, you can do some stuff, but not as good as.
I mean, it's not like my graphics cards here
Yeah.
that we're running out here, but still good. Brandon said, I'll let you guys know. Only thing I'm concerned about is the loan. Not sure if I will have to reapply or just update it with the new VIN, but it was about a quarter size blemish, white blemish on model MSM. Oh, that's interesting. White on model MSM.
That's
So
maybe it was bird.
the thing with the loan is what?
Maybe it was bird poop. No,
Oh God, that'd be funny if that was all. Just like,
I'm sure they checked.
the thing I think with the loan, based on what I've heard, is if it's within like 30 days, they don't have to worry about anything. If it's after 30 days, they might have to do a soft pull. And then if it's after like 60 days, I think it'll have to be a full reapply. I could be wrong, but that's what I've like heard. So I don't know. What is the difference between a soft pull and a hard pull?
I think the hard pull affects your credit.
Well, it doesn't really affect your credit. It just shows that you're trying to access
I think the hard
credit
one,
lines.
Yeah, but with soft pull, they know that you're kind of just like following up on a previous.
Okay. So that
request
they're
or
just
something
basically
like that.
checking your balances, make sure you haven't like
Yeah.
gone on a spending spree. Got it. But yeah. Let's see. Josh said Rivian called me about the R1T Max pack and switching to an adventure model with the 314 mile pack, and they said they could guarantee delivery in 2022. They didn't say when, so it could be December. They haven't called me yet, and I'm about ready to send off some emails to some people at Rivian because I'm a little
Yeah.
disappointed.
I mean, that would be acceptable, I think. But I mean, into 2023.
They didn't invite us to the Colorado
Yeah,
party.
that was odd. We know some people who went, but we didn't. Go.
And now, wait, is this Josh Allen, the race car driver? Time out. Is it? Because if so, I know you. Hopefully if it is, hopefully your back is feeling better. But yeah, I wish they would be a little bit more willing to call people, because I'm pretty sure my email said like within the first like 2 weeks or so of January, and here we are, and I still don't have a phone call about my Rivian. I am very excited for Rivian, by the way. I will say the truck, love it. I think it's great. Brandon said, I believe there's no dedicated GPU in the 3 and Y. I think I saw a teardown and there's just the Ryzen CPU. I think that sounds right. I don't know where they would stick a GPU. That'd be pretty difficult. Bill sent it to us on Twitter, so we can check that out. Chris said, I don't think there's enough room in the glove box for a dedicated GPU. Yeah, same. I agree.
And if I can't remember how big the glove box is on the Y, but man, on the S, I can barely fit my hand in there to get the USB drive out of the USB slot now. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a really small glove box.
Because Josh, I see your message that has the phone number for Rivian in there.
Okay, yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't have phone numbers in chat, but I do see it.
So you can try it. Oh, did you delete it?
But yeah, no, I have it. Okay. I still have access to it.
Okay.
It is a different Josh Allen. This is not the Josh Allen that broke his back. So glad to hear that you are okay.
That's interesting. Chris said he may or may not have job offer, because we do know that he lives up there.
From Aptera. So Aptera, I need to reach back out to them, because we were supposed to have some things going on.
We heard about like a year and a half ago. We heard from Aptera, but nothing recently.
Yeah. Definitely let me know, Chris, because that would be awesome. I'm curious to know. I'll text you later, or text me. I'm curious to know how the Tesla job search has been going. Let's see. Dan said hard pull does affect your credit and is marked on your record. Soft does not. But like, it just marks it that you're trying to access more credit. Not necessarily like, I guess it's gonna affect it if you're got like a bunch of hard pulls.
Yeah.
But if you have like 1 or 2, I don't think I've ever seen my credit score drop from that.
I don't know. I don't do anything recently, but I know that when we applied for, like, was it the Plaid or the other one, that we applied like months and months in advance, and then I don't think they ever ran it again. I don't know.
No, I don't think they did. Maybe they just did a soft pull. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, the companies that we've gotten most of our loans through, Wells Fargo and Chase, they have access. I have long history with both of them, and I have investment accounts with both of them. They can see what I have in the bank, so I don't even know if they need to pull.
And as we mentioned in a video a couple weeks back, we had like a little problem paying for my Model S, where it accidentally took the money, like $55,000 out of an account, and the money was not in that account, but the bank just covered it. So
yeah, it was great.
I think that's a bug we've talked about. It's a bug on Tesla's side. They need to fix.
I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say they experienced something very similar.
Thing. Yeah.
And so I've emailed a few people at Tesla that I know that are like, hey, you should check into that, because they're supposed to have used their Plaid option, their payment processor, to verify, but clearly they're not. But yeah, it was very bizarre. Out of $54,000 that we paid on that, I only had like $28K in that account, because it was going to originally come from your account. And then for some reason, my bank decided to front me the $25,000, even though I don't have overdraft protection or anything. They didn't charge me any fees or anything, so that was great. But it was just a very weird situation.
Yeah, but definitely a bug on Tesla's side, because it did not give me an option to enter any payment. And we've heard other people say that 100%, like over $100,000 was, taken out of their account and stuff like that.
Yeah. Somebody said like $140,000 was taken out of theirs for their Plaid
Or somebody
Model
did
S.
say that they had the exact same error, but they were able to call Tesla and cancel it.
Right.
We tried calling multiple people, and they're like,
Yeah, they're like, we don't see anything.
Yeah, or
we just see it was paid in
yeah,
full.
it was paid,
like,
and we're like, okay, because we don't have the money in the account, so I don't know how it was paid. But definitely they should have like a confirm. Are you sure you want to pay, or are you sure this is the right number? But they're just, we should, well, I don't know. Try putting any account number next time and see if it's like, pay. No, we do that, but basically it'd be nice if they just fixed it and said, are you sure, or is this the right number?
Yeah, it not great. Dan said, yes, it does lower your score. Hard pulls are 20% of your credit score. Interesting. I don't think they've done hard pulls on every car we've bought. I'm like 99.9%.
I just know that
two of them never showed up as a
especially
hard
like
pull.
with the Plaid or whatever. You know,
It never
we
showed
applied
up.
for it like it was supposed to be months and months earlier,
Yeah.
and then they never did another pull when you finally got it. In
So
like August.
I
or
like
whatever.
monitor my credit like religiously because of issues I've had in the past, and the long range and the Plaid never showed a hard pull. So I don't know. Maybe it was because those banks already saw like my history with them or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
John said it's funny that Tesla sales reps are driving gasoline cars to work. Some of them do. I know a lot of the people I know at Tesla actually drive Teslas now.
Yeah, and they like Model 3s, Model Ys, stuff like that. Some of them have Model S's and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of them have X's that I know of. But
I know of one with an X.
I'm sure some of them
Yeah.
do. It's just, yeah.
Yeah. Most have 3 and Y because I mean that's like the most popular vehicle right now.
And I have seen pictures at like, you know, the Gigafactory down in Austin where they've
yeah.
got like dozens and dozens of Teslas
And the employee.
just all lined up, all charging and stuff like that. So I definitely think that the employees probably have a desire to drive Teslas, but it might take them a while, you know, to work up to that. So it'd be nice, I guess, but we know that they don't have an employee purchase plan or anything. They don't get any discounts at like GM and stuff like that, where you know they
I think
basically
there
pay
is
this. They say the
something-
same price, but they get like free full
software.
self-driving.
Yeah. Yep.
But you know, definitely, we know a lot of Tesla employees, and they like to drive Teslas if they can.
Yeah. Let's see. Josh said my pre-order on the R1T was January 2019. They told me the first half of 2023 on the Max Pack.
Yikes.
So I was surprised they told me the second half.
Yeah.
Told you the second half of 2023. Yeah. Maybe it's because I did pre-order after you, but
Yeah, it wasn't that early.
I did like every single option that was available. Like the kitchen, like I literally did everything.
and we would have done. What was the other edition, which was sold out? You know.
Oh, the launch edition. I
Yeah.
didn't get in quite quick enough for the launch edition. And I emailed them and said if anyone cancels, I would love to buy their spot. And they said they can't do that.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how that
Yeah,
goes.
you'd think somebody would cancel.
Like, I doubt every single person is taking delivery. It's the way life works. Keith said, my wife ordered a Model Y long range on 8.8. It is still TYDY. What is TDY? TDY?
Where is it at? It's still TUI.
I don't know what TDY is. Maybe you don't have an estimated delivery date? I don't know what TDY is. Sorry.
Or maybe like TBD. Like.
Let me know what TDY means and I'll hit you back with an answer. Chris said there are a lot of Teslas in the Lucid employee parking lot. Can believe
Yeah,
that.
because a lot of them came over.
Lucid's actually trying to poach a lot of employees from Tesla and stuff, and they're paying a ton of money. But you have to think about how long Lucid is really going to be around. It's too new to really tell. Fred said my Rivian order is for the 316-mile R1S, so the SUV, and I got the email about the second half of 2023 delivery. Yeah, so the R1S is like 6 months, I think, behind the truck, which sucks, but I don't know. I much prefer the look of the truck. John said get LifeLock, works great. I don't have that, but I have a couple other things provided by like my banks and stuff. Luke said found latest Tesla Model S and X, a custom Ryzen long numbers. The chip features a quad core 12 nanometer 3.8 gigahertz Zen plus CPU with 4 megabits L3 cache. So no dedicated GPU. Not surprised. But still, a hell of a CPU.
That's on the S and X though.
Yeah. Yep. But that should be what the new computer in the 3 and Y are. Should be. Chris said I helped a friend of a friend on Facebook buy a Tesla reservation that I had made from October 2020. Is Tesla going to give me trouble trying to transfer the car to their account after delivery?
I don't know.
Not sure on that one.
You
Definitely
never
let
know.
us know.
You never know. Yeah, because it used to be no problem, but I think
Yeah.
the past year or so, with the prices of used cars going up and them raising the price so much, Tesla themselves, they have been doing a lot to discourage that, but hopefully they won't ding you.
Yeah. Definitely let us know. Jason sent a pic on Twitter, so I'll be very busy with Twitter tonight. May said Tesla employees get free FSD.
Yep.
So yeah, free software. I mean, in the grand scheme of it, software doesn't really cost Tesla anything
To add, yeah. Yeah.
to an already built vehicle. So that makes sense. Tyler said, I know a Tesla manager that drives an Audi R8. Yikes. He needs a Plaid in his life. Chris said, I did not charge them anything extra. So, I mean, it's just really a matter of what Tesla deems is acceptable. That's a kicker. I don't know, to be honest. Definitely let me know what happens. Diego said, is this a record for the longest live chat?
It's probably close to it.
Oh my God, it's 2 hours and 30 minutes already.
So it's
Holy
like,
crap.
oh,
It's
but-
already 8 p.m.?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a lot
I don't know.
to do
It's probably
tonight.
close to it, so that means we'll probably be wrapping it up soon.
Yeah. Terry said, do you have any Rivian stock? Yes, not as much as Tesla.
Yeah, just a few like dozen shares, but it's gone down. It was doing well at the beginning.
Isn't it
but-
like at 85
yeah,
or something?
it's gone way down. Like, yeah, and I'd sold some of mine already. So.
Okay, so live Rivian check here. Oh yeah, it's down to $80, $79.95.
Yeah, I definitely
Right.
paid more than that, but I didn't pay like the 160 or whatever, like the 150.
Yeah,
it
a
was.
lot of people just dumped as soon as they could. Josh said, I checked all the boxes on mine except for the tent, which I just removed from my order. So like I did the tent and everything, but I probably will cancel that. I think the kitchen would be kind of cool because Scott could cook us food wherever we go. If you're watching this, Scott, thank you. But the tent's probably never going to get used. I can't bring the dogs up that high.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to climb a ladder. Maybe.
I've seen videos.
Do you think
of other
these
dogs
would climb a ladder?
that- Nope. But I bet they're hungry.
Big no.
There's some pretty.
Let's see. Have a good night, Chris. It's me said, do you think Tesla took off production years for 2022 for Cybertruck because we are in the year or because it will be 2023? I mean, the inner me hopes it's because we're in 2022 already, but the realistic me thinks it's probably going to be 2023.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's kind of a bummer. Yeah. How much is it to add Scott to a Rivian?
So he can do the cooking and all that stuff.
How much is it to add Scott?
I think we should be calling because Eric is not understanding.
I don't get a...
They want to buy Scott to do their cooking for them, and as a checkbox item.
Okay, yeah. I
I
read
think
that
Eric
wrong.
needs to get some foods.
I don't know what he charges.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just come out here and we'll have a Rivian cookout once we get ours. Anyway, I guess on that note, I think we should probably call it there. Huge thanks to everyone for hanging out in chat, for helping answer questions. Really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chats and all the donos. Definitely not required, but
and for
always
reminding me that
appreciated.
my Mac battery died. I'm surprised it hasn't died.
And for
again.
everyone reminding us about the battery. Really do appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. As always, though, definitely check out our channel sponsor right here, Abstract Ocean. Really appreciate them. They really help make all this possible. Definitely go check them out. And using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off of your first purchase. A lot of really cool accessories. And the Model S and X refresh screen protectors for front and rear screen are out. We did a lot of development with that on there with them, and I think they came out beautifully. I have heard from a couple people that they absolutely love theirs. So if you are looking for one, definitely check them out. But that's basically it. We should hopefully have a video this week about 2021 versus 2022 Model S refresh. Should be a good one.
And then what is it? Next week will be the earnings call.
Next
So
week
we'll
will be the
probably
earnings call.
Do a
So
live stream for that.
We will be live for the earnings call. That is on Wednesday, the 26th. So the way those are going to kind of work out, we listen to it. We probably will get on early, talk, listen to that, and then we'll talk afterwards. Always a good time. We will hopefully have a catered 5-course meal that day. Should be fun. But yeah, that's basically it. Huge thanks to everybody, though. Definitely smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed it. If you're not subscribed, please do. Really helps out the channel. And we'll let you know when we're posting a new video. But that's basically it. We will see you all later this week, next week. Bye.